Just awaiting some quarterly GDP data coming through here on a Q2 second look. 0.5% there on the durable goods number just came through. That's ex-transports for August. Heads up, though, we are expecting, again, GDP for the quarter-over-quarter number. There it is, 3% versus a forecast 3%. On the final Q2 print, 2.5%. The forecast number there comes in exactly in line with expectations, 2.5%. Again, for the final Q2 GDP print. So, in line with expectations. Initial jobless claims just out there as well, a little bit lower, 218,000 versus 222 expected. Continuing claims, 1.83 million, in line with expectations. Ignore that PCE number. I mean, don't ignore it. It's a quarterly number, however. The month-over-month one that the market and Powell and the Fed pays such close attention to coming out tomorrow morning. So we'll bring that to you at 8:30 when that comes across. Yeah, long line of Fed speakers to come through starting at 9:10 this morning. Collins, Kugler, Fed Chair Powell, by the way, 9:20. Fed's Williams coming through, Barr, and then rehash of Kashkari again later in the afternoon. So it's going to be one of those days where we have to pay close attention to some macro headlines possibly for some market movement outside of that. Just that pending home sales number at 10 o'clock. But busy day on the economic calendar. Again, if you missed it, that GDP print non-event really comes in exactly in line with expectations. Tons to talk about this morning once again. I was just going through in the corner of my eye here. There was more Chinese ADRs up huge again this morning, including NIO 7.5% right now. I mean, JD's more than 10%. PDD 11.5%.
Ridiculous.
These things have come a long way down. Let's be honest. So a long way to go back up.
More China stimulus, Brendo. 2 trillion yuan here. Fiscal stimulus plan being announced overnight. That's about 284 billion US dollars. They're going to basically issue bonds, generate cash. Lots of different things that they're trying to do there in China. Lots to talk about as well. Micron, wow, were we misled about the state of high bandwidth memory by analysts because there's all sorts of demand there. Meta really wowing everybody with that event yesterday. I didn't have a chance to watch the entire thing yet, but so many interesting products.
What do you think of those glasses?
Okay, look, I was just telling Fabian offline, look, if you have that form factor, like your glasses, not having a shoe pasted to your face, I think it's a starting point.
Yeah.
It's where we go from here, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, they said it was a prototype, but they're huge.
They are, but they're better form factor than having the Vision Pro or Quest tied to your face. That's why I like it.
He did a podcast, Zuckerberg did a podcast and showed them more closely later on in the day. And they actually had a version that was see-through.
Oh.
So the same exact frame, that thick, big, bold, chunky frame, but it was see-through. So you could see like every millimeter was taken up with compute.
Seriously?
Within the arms and the frame itself. So yeah, it was really interesting to see. But like you said, I mean, it's a starting point. It's a prototype that they can now build on. So yeah, lots to come still from Meta. Again, 2 more days of Meta Connect to get through. But as we said yesterday, most of the big announcements come right off the bat with the keynote yesterday that we got. So we'll keep an eye on Meta, but just a monster. More positivity for Tesla. I was just reading a Wolf Research note on Tesla, specifically talking about the robotaxi event to come. What a couple of weeks it's been here for Tesla, trying to get back to the upside. But huge monster move here, guys, right across the board for the market to start things off once again.
It's crazy right now. I mean, everything's breaking higher as we speak.
Everything.
I mean, Tesla's ripping. Tesla just ripped up $3 almost. 260 we were just at. Now you're at 262. Check that. That's $2. Check out the beast of the East or the West, I guess. Nvidia right now 127 and trying to go. Somebody that we talked about before, Micron. What a good opportunity that was. And we did not pull the trigger, but we mentioned buying this name down here at $88, giving it $3 of space. Okay, or $5 of space, that's the upside. Alibaba, I came in, I was like, what in the world? This thing's at 102? Check that, 103.50 right now. I mean, it's like, you know, look, good. I am long everything. I have like 5% cash. Like, we're actually talking about this. Fabian asked me, what does rebalancing mean? And I'm like, I know what it means, but don't follow it. I mean, I was just like, I just keep on letting these guys ride. I mean, we talk about getting some out at tops, but where are tops? And I was saying that same thing before. It's like if I'm overweighted Meta, $100 ago, well, now I'm really overweighted Meta now. I mean, I don't want to sell a lot of these winning names. And I mean, today you just get that boost up in some of the China names. So shout out to Shakib, shout out to some of the guys there, Bang, in the chat that have been talking their book and really starting to get payoff right now. I mean, great move upside. I like the stocks here today. What are we trading today? China. What are we trading today? Semis. What are we trading today? Autos. You got to trade the names that are absolutely blasting off. And I mean, we're just getting into earnings season starting in the next couple weeks. Micron kicks it yesterday. We got Costco tonight. I mean, it's just going to be a monster. This market is not stopping. All-time highs.
Exactly. Although, when we say autos, let's make a bit of a distinction, right? Because I don't think necessarily Tesla just blasted to the high of the day. I haven't checked back in on Ford, GM, and Rivian and some of the others, but they weren't part of the party yesterday at all.
Rivian was our best stock.
Yeah, but they were downside, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, I know we're talking like exuberance and the things that are up. It's like not everything is good trades to the upside. Like a lot is. Weirdly, though, in that last move, Microsoft didn't go anywhere. I'm a little bit surprised here. Like every single thing that I was just sort of scanning through when the numbers came out, everything was pretty much as expected. It's not like we got any surprises. Although we'll get to why you have 3 Fed speakers going in like 15 minutes right before the open. Can't remember the last time that happened. But Softy, for some reason, it's only up 0.5%, which, I mean, up's not bad. And it's kind of sliding a little bit down here. There's some news with OpenAI that, they might be going profit, getting up in the stake. But a little disappointed by that move. But you shouldn't be disappointed with what's going on in the Chinese ADRs with the chip names. And we were talking about it in the aftermarket shows, like Micron was holding every level that you wanted it to on the way to the upside. And then when it would try to sell off, it's like, okay, well, 103, that's that 9.5% area to the upside. And then boom, it bounces off of that and then carries higher. You had LAM going, ASML going, AMAT going, like everything was at least 3 points to the upside on this news. And that's what you love to see. So bull market is in full form. And the best part about it is the Qs aren't even at the highs yet. The Qs got a way to go. A ways to go.
A few things to keep in mind as well. Bitcoin, I just saw a couple of people mentioning it. Bitcoin trying to break the highs here right now. 64,500 was that last high as well. August being tested once again this morning. So the ETFs right across the board, all to the upside as well. I mean, there's not much that's down, let's be honest. Solar stocks getting a huge boost this morning. FSLR, nice note from Truist Securities, initiating coverage with a buy on FSLR. So solar right across the board to the upside. I mean, as we said, the travel side of things looking pretty good as well. Have you seen these lately? That's a cruise line. If you haven't looked at a daily chart of a cruise line in a long time, that's RCL.
RCL.
But I mean, they all look like this. NCLH, CCL, all just straight higher.
It's fantastic. And like we've been hearing a lot about, consumer spending dwindling a little bit, especially with respect to these higher cost excursions. And so not really, Bruno, like looking at that chart. Wow. Good look there.
Yeah. I was noticing, guys, Sean, you were mentioning earnings coming up here. I mean, as we always see, banks set to kick things off. Typically, it's the 11th, Friday the 11th. We'll hear from some of the big banks. But I was looking at some insurance companies this morning as well. And I mean, even those just through the highs and more.
Yeah, it was, good look on. I mean, JP Morgan might be primed for a pickup too because it's at the 50-period moving average. You know what name? I mean, it's interesting, Brendan, that you brought up insurance because you know what name I was actually thinking about getting involved with and I've never actually owned these shares was Berkshire. I mean, Berkshire right now, nice move down from 480. They hit that $1 trillion club. Now it falls back. I believe it's a sub-trillion right now. We can look that up, but that doesn't really matter. I don't care about that. You're now holding the 50-period right here at 450. So it's like, not going to be a day traded stock on the show. I wish, and I don't wish it would split or anything like that. Just let it already has. Let's just let it do whatever it wants to do. But right now, Berkshire, I mean, right here, 450, this looks like a decent pickup there. So I don't know of any insurance ETFs off the top of my head, but the one now, enter the chat, I guess. But right now, XLF, we talked about this. I know Sharif was buying this name earlier on in the year. Still have it? Yeah, I mean, what a great buy that's been. We've been talking about this, and I know Sharif definitely was beginning of the year. There was a little breakout right here, $38, $39. Really nice move up to 44, 45. It's not going to wow you and give you those crazy daily returns like some of these tech individual ETFs or double, triple ETFs, things like that. But this is a nice mover, and I think that right now, heading into bank earnings, you're coiling up again. Like we talked about Meta kind of going sideways and finally starting to break out now. This is going sideways, same way as Meta is at the top. So I like when we go sideways up here, especially coming into earnings. I'd rather do a little bit of work on banks and figure out if this rate cycle is supposed to be a profitable one for them. I don't know exactly. I think with a stronger housing market, should be better for banks, maybe some refinancing happening. I mean, mortgage rates are still so high.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not a thing, but stronger consumer generally better for banking environment. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening. We saw the MasterCard, Visa, AXP were all blasting off the last couple weeks. So yeah, a lot of nice highs and lows in these banking sector. I think it's going to be a really exciting earnings season.
Yeah, I want to wait around for them to all report there. There's so many of them that are actually in the pullback phase. I feel like, and there might be some value in there. I mean, I got the eyeballs on TD, which finally made its move, and there you go. There's a golden cross and then an up move in a stock. Yeah, there we go. Finally, I see one of these, because on the aftermarket show, it was like I'd pull up a chip name that was running alongside of Micron, and then I'd see a death cross, and then I'd see the stock breaking out. It was like 4 for 4, pulling them up there. But there you go. There's for all you technical people out there, there's your what do I call it? A golden cross, and then a move back into the highs. So I'm like, this is the one I'm looking at. I own them it's a Canadian bank with a U.S. exposure, the most U.S. exposure of any Canadian bank. They've had some of their own issues, a bit of a shakeup in the C-suite and all that stuff. But this is to me either it's simple. When the big U.S. banks start reporting, these guys are either going to go on sympathy breaking it out or dipping into the moving average. And I feel like either way, I'm going to be interested in them. But I think it's a wait and see, because there's so many that are in a range. Like I looked at BAC. It's like, okay, well, Warren's all done dumping these guys, presumably. But it's so range bound, just sitting here. It's like, let it do something, then you do something. Because it's just sitting here at 41 to 38 to 41, probably back to 38 before they report next week. And I think you just want to wait them out. And if they break out, you join breakouts. We've seen what that can do with the not just the chip names like the Microns of the world, but like all these Chinese ADRs. And it's better to participate in a move than necessarily anticipate. I'd rather be along for the ride when these start to pick up again.
Ram.
Ramin's joining us. Hi, Ramin. We were going to touch on Microsoft. There's, as the guys were mentioning, OpenAI with a little bit of a corporate shuffle, I guess. I mean, mostly because of this. Sam Altman said for a $10.5 billion payday as they look to remove the non-profit tag from the corporate structure of OpenAI, which would see Sam Altman end up with some equity in OpenAI specifically. It's fine.
I think this is so very amazing.
Yeah, but I was just going to add, as you were mentioning as well, Mira Murati, who was CEO for half an hour or so when they fired Sam Altman the first time, leaving the company as well.
Yeah, CTO, she's obviously very capable. Brendo probably looking for a CEO position somewhere else. But let's talk about what they're doing here. So they're making the structure of the company a lot more attractive to investors. Yeah. Investors who were coming in, they're like, hey, why does a nonprofit control so much of your for-profit operations? The board there was a hurdle for investors. So they're looking to basically get rid of that. Now, the nonprofit is going to own a minority stake in the for-profit, so maybe money trickles down into that. But separately, a lot of people are leaving the company. It's not just Mira Murati. Yeah. A lot of technical skill is leaving there, so we're going to have to see how they maneuver around it.
It'll be interesting to see where she ends up, because I think she'll have a easy time, to say the least, to land a new position. If you've ever heard her speak, incredibly intelligent. So, I mean, changes, guys, at OpenAI, not going to affect Microsoft at this point, but worth noting.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's not directly related to Microsoft. No, my disappointment in Microsoft is just that it's not really following the market. Like, it's not like I think that story should have Microsoft up 5% or 2 or 3%. but I'd like to see it be doing better than 0.7 when the market is up 1.5. Like this was, look, you made a bottom yesterday. We're trending back up. You're back over support line. I just kind of felt like you could do a little bit more, and maybe we would be testing, a top break. Okay, maybe that's asking for too much, but I thought maybe we'd be testing a top break at the 442 level. Instead, this one's diddling in the middle, and I just don't know if I see a trade in Microsoft. Would have been an interesting breakout trade above that 442, but you're not really gapping. And the good news is it seems like a long way away, $7 from here on Softy to that level. But remember, if it goes $7, it's kind of just catching up with the market at that point. But yeah, just got to wait for 442. This is clearly not the catalyst that's going to get it done today. And there's so many other flyers out there. It's not like a big concern. I just would have felt they'd be, over at least 1% to the upside today.
Yeah, we were, looking at different names and thinking like, what are the next ones to go? I mean, we've already sort of anointed there that Meta. I think Microsoft has its opportunities. I mean, I still really like the stock. We talked about, Neil mentioned the Nasdaq before. You're just you're not as far away maybe as we thought away. Its all-time high is 503. So right now you are $10 away from an all-time high of the Nasdaq. We're already at all-time highs of diamonds, which is the Dow Jones. You're already at the S&P 500 all-time high. So if you're just playing the broader markets right now, you are winning. Your account is at all-time highs. So if you continue to buy ETFs and things like that, you're doing okay. Nasdaq continues to hold fort. With Microsoft and Apple being such huge parts of these indexes, I mean, you're probably invested in most of these names more than you even think. So let's just continue to hope that Microsoft can have that moat around it. Everything's fine with Azure. It has a 440 top break that I really like. It's just right now it's not in play today. So this is just the cues I was just showing. Like your handle's away now. You could break all-time highs today. I mean, that's possible. $10 up on the cues. Yesterday we were 486, closed 494. I don't think we get that, but we'll wait to see. Cues right now pushing 500. Watch out, man. I mean, we already talked about, we've had TQQ and all these ranges on here for a very long time. I think the futures will have to be traded again today. We'll go over the top trades. Yep. We'll go over the top trades in here at Real Trading. But you know what? This is a segment that we just go from talking large cap names. Now we get an opportunity to go over to another specialty here. Let's start looking at some lower float names, maybe some small cap names with Louis Barbado.
A ton to not only look at, but talk about here. Louis, good to see you. Over the past couple of days here, it's been just wild week as far as low float names and some of these high short percent type names coming back into play once again. How's your week been? First off, what's catching your eye here?
It's good. It's good. I have to say I've been a couple of days off, holidays in the south of France, but back on the office. We have some nice tickers, as you say. We had a couple of runners last week, so the market is active again.
So first of all, where in the south of France, and give us more detail, be more specific.
Oh, I took how you call in English, like a caravan, an auto caravan for the whole family, and we've been in Carcassonne, Toulouse, and all these Lot Valley.
Amazing. Beautiful part of the country, especially or continent over there, especially this time of year. I'm just seeing actually right now as we're sitting here, there's a couple more popping up. KTTA, the biggest one right now. I mean, we're already at almost 11 million shares traded here, 70%. What are you seeing with this one?
Yeah, that's a crazy one, 70% up. As you say, a lot of volume traded, rotation float. The float is 0.8 million, so very tiny float, rotating float. But on the other hand, I have to say, if you check the stats, 5 last gaps, 4 of them closed red during the day. So as you can see here, pre-market down, then it pop-ups, and it moves all the way down, bleeding during the day. Statistics said the data says it doesn't mean it's going to happen today, but the statistics say it should go down if the volume start to slow down. You know, if we keep holding volume and holding VWAPs and resistance, it might go up. But some moment of the day, it will bleed. The statistics say so.
Yeah, let's, for anyone maybe seeing that for the first time, let's back up a little bit here. Talk a little bit about the data that's included in what it is you're looking at there with, historically, as you mentioned, some of these little tiny float type names, when they make these big moves in the pre-market, how often do they actually follow through?
Yeah, you have to look at a couple of data. First of all, how is the market in general? We are having a lot of runners or not, and how these gappers are behaving. So let's say from $1 to $80, gapping up about 20% with a relative high volume pre-market. We are having like a lot of tickers, as you can say, in the last weeks, right? So we are seeing a lot of gappers in the small cap world mainly, and gapping up. That doesn't mean it's going to keep going up. And you have to analyze each ticker, what the percentage, if it keep going up during the day or not. And then you go ticker by ticker. We have KTTA, as you say, and we have TBO today as well. This is not that much of a bleeding when it gap up. 6 gaps since 2020, over 25% of the volume of the last price. Sorry, only 50% closing down during the day. So you have to check this data when you trade the small cap sometimes.
Yeah, this feels like looks like there was a headline after the close yesterday for that Telesis TBIO, as you mentioned. So maybe reflect on when there's news associated to these moves. Yesterday specifically, there was a ton of these little ones that were moving. Didn't seem to be any catalyst behind any of them. But when you do see that TBIO, for example, popped up right at the close yesterday, we're holding that high from after the close yesterday here this morning. Do you treat those differently?
Yeah, absolutely. The data doesn't tell you what you have to do like 100% sure. Yeah, the data tells you if it's more likely that it will go down during the day or not. But you have to put in the table as well, as you say, if the news is really important or not, if it keeps having volume once the market has opened, if it's holding big, so different factors that they can impact in these statistics. Great
stuff. Anything else catching your eye here this morning?
These are the main 2 tickers, and of course we are looking also some Chinese, as you said, like Duogene and some other these ADR Chinese stocks. Although we are very aware, we are taking very carefully the risk management on the Chinese stocks because they are more easy to manipulate, a lot of more linear movement without so much noise because of the high institutional ownership. So very, very picky with these Chinese names, according to the risk management.
Lots to look at. Once again this morning, Luis Barbato joining us from the Real Trading office over in sunny. Is it sunny today?
It's sunny, of course.
Of course it's sunny. It's Barcelona, Spain. Great to see you as always.
Thank you. I want to say hi because I just talked to them to Buenos Aires office in Argentina. They are trading. I opened that office back in 2006, I think, and they keep trading. So it's good news. I say hi for them from here.
Of course, if anyone in Argentina is watching. Good morning.
This guy, man. This guy has an office now
living the life,
Buenos Aires and in Barcelona. Yeah, okay.
Chilling.
Honestly, yeah.
Chilling.
Great
dude, man.
Great. I mean, we love Lewis. Thank you so much, and hopefully he can come visit Toronto. Very, very soon.
Well, we can visit him.
That would be really nice. Well, yeah, I mean, visiting him would be even better, in our opinion.
That'll work.
Then, yeah. So, okay, yeah. So a couple of small cap names there. I like what Lewis said there about Chinese names being, overly institutionalized. Investors there can be easily manipulated. We talked about some of the Chinese names not really moving in the after. I keep saying the after show, but in the PM show there between 2 to 4 o'clock, not super exciting, but should be really moving here off the open. So watch out for FXI and some of those small cap names in China land as well. NIO breaking over $6 could be interesting, but again, just a different style of trade there. Thanks, Luis, for going over some of those metrics and what he looks for. And see, no matter how you trade, statistics are there, right? I mean, making sure that there should be certain retracements in stocks, volume plays and whatnot. But yeah, thanks, Luis, for all that. And Buenos Aires, very, very exciting.
Jealous. We're all jealous. But hey, shout out in the chat because we just got a super chat. Oh, there it is from Adrian Petrus there. I believe that's I looked it up. This is Romanian currency. So shout out to a viewer from Romania. Appreciate the super chat. How's it going? It's going great. We're all smiles today. I mean, you can't be angry when the market's making fresh highs. I mean, it's a hard thing to be. I suppose if you're a short seller or someone that only goes short stocks, then you're going to be in a world of hurt today. But everyone else should be all smiles. Appreciate the super chat. We love all of our viewers. Great community out here. Adrian, thank you for that. Just quickly on NEO, I actually think NEO could be doing better than it is. Like it still has, it's barely breaking 6. Like look at right in here, like 630. This can get through $6.30. It looks a little bit more interesting. But this breakout, it's so cheap. The cheap ones you want to move more. And I think that's always the case here. Like PDD is going like way more than NIO. Alibaba, you know, bigger company, obviously doing well itself. But yeah, the daily chart's going to tell you 630 goes, and this one can absolutely fly.
I come over here just quickly here, Fabian, because there it is, man. This reminds me of the childhood. I was wondering like where maybe I got this bang from all the time, but a shout out to Mankind here, Cactus Jack and all, because it's just like bang, bang. You know, like this was the good old days, man, of wrestling. Wrestling's probably still great now, but there it is there, Mr. Sacco. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, anyways, I was wondering
Best
about
finishing
that.
move.
So shout out to Gilman right there. With the bang bang, so
wow,
I had to retweet that, and I hear Sharif got a kick out of that as well.
He's a big.
I mean, I used to watch too much of this, man. I used to have the figurines and all that stuff, going to events, Maple Leaf Gardens. I went to the WrestleMania at Skydome where it was, yeah, man, it was Ric Flair versus Triple H. It was The Rock versus Hogan. Oh man, you don't get to see those kind of things anymore. That was classic to say the least. That we were on the floor and everything. It was a great time. My cousin and some families as well there. Yo, there he is right there. Yeah, this is kind of like wrestling right there. Okay, yeah.
What are you
just picking? You're just picking Neil's nose, man. That was nasty. Okay, over to the green screen and we can get back to some professionalism.
Dude Love was awesome. I like that character for Mankind as well. All right, guys, Starbucks getting a nod today, 2.5% here from Bernstein. We'll see how the new CEO is able to control costs. That's really the issue for analysts. First Solar, okay, so now we're starting to see the solar stock pick up after that 50 basis points cut. Let's keep an eye on those. Obviously, Micron, wow, we're re-bamboozled by analysts. They are not reporting any weakness in demand at all, and TradeWeb gets the nod from TD Cowen. Nordstrom down as well as that retail trade continues to suffer. GE Healthcare getting a downgrade from UBS, and Hershey's and Sonos, guys, both in negative territory to start the day.
I'm glad. See, every now and then upgrades and downgrades are good. Because I didn't remember, if everything's gapping up, that means Starbucks can break 100, right? So everything is gapping up. Starbucks is up 3%. Hey, you got the China story there. We'll probably have, I'm going to check on Nike in a quick little second here too. But yeah, this $100 area, obviously not exactly the high on the daily chart. Like 100 is the round number. 99.5 is that local high. But, you know, we can all see some resistance in here. It's lower high resistance after it made the top back in last year, November. So it's the high of this year as well. So, you know, 52-week highs, 100 break. It's only $1 and change away here on Starbucks. Got to add that to my watch list this morning. Nike, I would hope, is also, yeah, okay. So as expected, Nike's also breaking higher, but already through its breakout here at $90. But yeah, continuation to the 200 period, continuation to 98. That makes a heck of a lot of sense. But Starbucks 100, sign me up.
I did like, I do like that Starbucks trade there. I think you could still watch out to fade that $100 initially there. Shoot, there was another name on that list. These guys over here. All right, I forget what I was going to look at, so we'll just continue to go on that look. I still do like that Starbucks look. I like the name Kava in this space. We talked about that one. There was a name on that. Do you have that board again? Put that board up if you have the earning. It was First Solar. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah. FSLR. Because you know why? Brian Shannon on Tuesday, those of you that were in the market recap show, he just took a position on First Solar Tuesday. So the reason why, again, was it looks like it was breaking above this 240 mark. So that's what it was. It was Brian Shannon into First Solar on Tuesday in and around this area, trying to break higher. I asked him about any new plays, anything we could talk about next week when I see him. It was FSLR, so that's on the upgrade side. So that's what it was. I didn't have much to say about it other than there was a guest, Brian, that was in this name. Looks like it wants to break 250. That might be a real clean break back there to the upside. A different story, of course, with stocks like Enphase, Solar Edge and stuff, just continues to be at the downside. Enphase is trying to battle back. That's going to be very interest rate sensitive. We talked about that. But look at SEDG. This name got kicked out of the S&P 500. And I think this was like $100, $80 or something like that when that had happened. This has gotten absolutely pumped to the downside. I mean, look at this, 72, right. So I think we're pretty right about that. Yeah, $100 down to 20 right now for Solar Edge. Look at this name, Randy, $300. This name was $300 last year. This is July of 21. See, that's a new feature that AI could do. Superimpose Randy's face on all charts.
Yes.
Makes
but all charts better.
No, there's not a chart there now. Yeah, then now we're just focusing. Come on, man. There we go. Okay, there it is. There it is. Anyways, okay. Randy, how's your day going? Good. You know what? You want to say anything quickly because we're running a little bit late on time here.
Coffee?
Oh, that's okay, fine, perfect.
Sign me up.
Tesla, by the way, back to summer highs right now. The stock
Here we go.
looking to break out through 260.
Here we
So starting to go. Randy, the man. Randy used to watch wrestling.
Oh,
not really.
When I was wee.
So give me. Do you remember any of your favorite characters there or wrestlers? We just had a blast from the past with Mankind
Andre
there,
the
Mick
Giant.
Foley.
There we go.
Andre the
Andre the
Giant.
Giant.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah, the only man to ever body slam Hulk Hogan.
That's right.
So I think Ultimate
Long
Warrior
time
might have
ago.
actually eventually, but yeah. All right, let's go back over to the desk. Sharif, give me your favorite wrestler, man.
Oh, that Bret Hart, Sean. I'm going to have to go with Bret Hart there. The Montreal screw job. Yeah, you know how it's going to be there, right? Shout out to Canada. 57.80, guys, where we closed out yesterday on the ES December contract. We're well above that. We took out 5,800 like it did not even matter, and that was in the pre-market overnight, or sorry, the morning high, 58.28. So simple. We're using 5,800 as support, and we've never been this high, so it's a blue sky setup. Let's see how we do.
If you haven't done so yet, I mean, Nasdaq still kind of lagging behind here a little bit, but hopefully. I mean, it was 2%, I think, in the pre-market, still to go until all-time highs. Anyway, go to the description of this video, hit the link for the watch list, enter your email address, and then you get that absolutely free, sent right to your inbox. Every single day has everything you need to know on it. Every day in the pre-market. Let's go. Micron, top of the list this morning as it should be. A monstrous move here, almost 18%. Just took out the highs, kind of hanging out here around $113. Yeah, go back and check yesterday. It was 95 bucks.
Brendo, the guide here was spectacular. They're talking about $8.7 billion in the first quarter of 2025 with respect to revenue. Listen to these margins, 40% for the margins. We don't typically see that for a hard good, for an actual physical good. So good look there. They exceeded analyst expectations on both the top and bottom lines, and it's already up 17.78%. Let's see where this one does.
I mean, we laugh, but I mean, it's almost a tough thing to just buy blindly up here, guys.
I mean, the funny thing about it is buying blindly is the easy thing to do because you just do this. It's like playing a hand blind in poker. Like, it doesn't mean you're going to win, but it's literally the easiest action you can make because you don't have to think about it. But I'm not going to buy blind up here. I want to shout thank you, SOS. It was a fun aftermarket show. We enjoyed doing it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And Micron gave the goods, right? Like, it's always fun when something like Micron at the time was up like 13% as we were watching it live, but hey, guide was great, beat top bottom, your cleared out levels on the daily. Now, obviously, some of the areas we were mentioning in the afternoon, in the aftermarket show, you said aftermarket for afternoon, and I just said afternoon for aftermarket show. But some of the levels we were watching there, they're just not going to be in play right now. Like, we're not going to see, we might, but we're probably not going to see the 105 that we liked. I kind of thought that would be a nice little place to go dip buy hunting, but you go right up to the next level on the dip. And it's like 110 was last resistance. Like 110 to 112 was a nice little channel. So I would not be surprised. With a move this big, that presents the opening range here, or the pre-market range. And so I would look at this pre-market range as the key. And if 10 can't hold, I do feel you have a little bit of a gap back into that mid 105 range. So the 110 looks like the spot for me, but there's a host of chip names we'll get into on the semis what we'll do next. But yeah, for Micron, I just go back to that daily chart, previous resistance to support, also pre-market support here at the 110 level. It wouldn't surprise me if there was some profit taking when you're up this much, and that should give a chance, I think, at the 110.
Yeah, so I wrote down here, it's on the sticky note today, Micron. It's already broken through. It was basically the pre-market highs of 1250 is what I liked. Now we've broken through that. Yeah, right now you're not really buying blindly. I mean, because you have the numbers, you have the goods. And right now you have VWAP. And we talked about that. Again, it's on the sticky note today. Micron's at the top of the note today just because why not? I mean, I think this is going to be bang, bang again. This is going to be a bang, bang. Maybe we got to do a new graphic with that. That would be kind of fun. All right, so okay, yeah, exactly. We'll figure it out. Maybe I have to write on that board over there. 112.50 looking long on the break here. Pre-market pressure will pop it off. 110 early buy spot, but I don't know if we drop into 110. I just like an even dollar level there for Micron. This is just a dark pool wick that happened at 8 o'clock, so I don't really care that it stopped at 110. Thank you so much, Randy.
Cool, thanks, Randy.
I just like the even dollar level. I think it's an option eligible level. Micron's expected move, I don't even know what it was. Did you wind up?
It was 9.5.
It was 9.5. So you're well extended, man. You're double the move now on Micron. And yeah, I still think you want to take the pre-market high breaks, but we're still 25 minutes away from that. So momentum will come to this name. There's going to be a lot of people that have missed this boat, obviously. Huge move up there for Micron, Randy. I mean, obviously, you bought some shares down here at 90 bucks, I'm sure. Down to 113. Nice move up. Look at this little area right here. That's kind of where we started to cascade, right? We've been up here before, but now we're up here for reasons. Earnings. We like that. So now let's wait to see if we can hold. 114 is sort of the next breaking spot again. So now that we're up here, might as well giddy up through the highs. Micron could easily be up, 25% today, believe it or not. I mean, there might not be that much stopping this name. So let's see. Money's going to pour into it. I think Micron has a great opportunity to continue its move higher. Dip buys into VWAP, Randy. That can be the play. 1180 right now off the open. So Micron, congratulations. Anybody that went long this name.
Randy's stoic in the morning.
I know.
Staring down that chart.
Very serious, man.
Nvidia, meanwhile, benefiting as well. I mean, the entire group is higher again this morning, but 2.5% here from Nvidia. Look at these 3 days, or the potential anyways, for 3 days in a row here, 127 coming into play.
Yeah, Micron shed some light on basically the hyperscaler demand here, Brendo. So just to put it into context, some more of these hyperscalers spend on AI build-out. They're gonna need high bandwidth memory. Just to give you some example, Microsoft invested obviously $1.3 billion to build a new plant in Mexico. Taiwan Semi has a new deal with Apple and Alphabet for smartphone chips, and the partnership between Amazon and Oracle, like they're building out hand over fist, and they're buying these Blackwell chips as well as the Hoppers, and each one of them has high bandwidth memory.
It doesn't really matter where you look, as we mentioned, Intel, AMAT, there's ARM, just saw a day high alert there for ARM, 4.5% now for ARM.
Yeah, it's across the board. Pretty much all of these names, you can pick and choose. Obviously, we're going to start with, maybe not obviously, we're going to start with Nvidia, but let's be real. You can go to, we talked about Lam, we talked about AMAT, the guys that make the things that make the chips, or just go to the biggest and the baddest to start off with. What I like about Nvidia today is you have a clean area that I feel like we're headed to next at about 130. 130 to 130 change in here. So you've made the breakout from one level. That 120 area is now gone, and I think we're sort of headed into this 130. As long as we're holding 125. I mean, a double top yesterday, clean at 120, just couldn't really break out the 125. So it's, to me, trend up. It's an over-under type play, looking trend up into that level. So 27 is going to stand out for a break. I mean, it also, any kind of a dip that holds prior supports is going to be key. I was a little more interested in Intel around 24 than where it is now. It just, yeah, I don't know, I'm missing a little bit of data in here, but it did break 24 yesterday very early, and then ended up closing, it closed at the $0.50, didn't push through 24 on the Micron release, and then pulled back. So I kind of expected you to be playing off 24. Intel tagged $24.50 today. So this is one that I'm not going to chase this move. Obviously, it's good. I think Nvidia is great. We have a plan of action on Micron. But as far as Intel goes, I think I'd need it to drip down a little bit more. 3.5% already. It's clearly on the move to the upside. Don't really have any short ideas or short levels for any of these. Not a single one set up enough as like a weak-ish play that you're like, oh, this one looks like it could be a short. Like none of those really set up that way. And as mentioned, you just said ARM also gapping higher. Like you can pick and choose. Like you're going to have gaps pretty much everywhere. ARM was a 150 break that we never got it to trade. So if you like ARM over Nvidia, I mean, prior high 150 dip. It's no different the setup than 225 on Nvidia. I just like Nvidia better. That's all.
Yeah, I like Nvidia. I mean, Nvidia has been a monster, man. I mean, like I said, it's been Nvidia or Tesla has been the P&L #1 for the office behind us and for myself for probably the last couple weeks. It seems like every single day it's the most heavily traded name. You can also trade NVDLL. I think there's TSLL for Tesla. I believe there's an Nvidia one as well. I'm just going to talk right now, though. Like, you know, it's just one of those things, man. You always want to look to play breakouts, I feel like. But this morning's maybe a little bit of a different story. And the reason is that we're already up so huge in the Nasdaq. As Brendan and Neil mentioned, we're less than 2% away from all-time highs. Like 2% away, like that's just one more day. Like it's not even a thing. I don't think we won't get there today. I don't think the market's going to be up 4% today. But at the end of the day, this name still has some room to go. I mean, 140 is the high for Nvidia. The market PE right now is 21 or 22, getting higher every single day. Some of these other names can get back to where they need to be. Meta's PE is only 24, 25. So I just think that there's going to be more room to run here on Nvidia. But as Neil mentioned, this 130 level is pretty ominous. We've already been up here in mid-August. And then we really came back in like a lot. We dropped 30% there. So we dropped 30% in Nvidia in a week. Like, you know, the fact that it's up 2.5 is still great. Let me just say that again so everybody can understand. Nvidia dropped 30% in 1 week. All right? This is not August 5th where we were in London. Shout out to Adam DeLuz, who I think is happy birthday, and I think he's on his way here.
Birthday on Saturday.
130 is going to be a level. So you're going to have to look at that. Whether or not you're long into 130 and you may want to cover some, I'm going to be covering some. I was lucky enough to buy into here at 105. I remember we were off on this Friday right there, and I was talking with some dads, and they're like, what are you buying? And I was like, I'm just buying Nvidia and closing my eyes. I feel like you have to open them up now. 130 is right there. For the day trade today, though, I've written it down here. Go find it at TraderTV Show on Instagram and Twitter. I wrote down Nvidia 126.50. That's already breaking right now. So that one's gone. 125 for a dip buy. So that's just yesterday's close. Nice action into Micron earnings, 125. Again, an option eligible level. The 200 period moving average is there. If you drop down $1.50, I think you got to buy some Nvidia. Why not? As long as you have your stops, right? You can go long or short anything on any day. Just to have your stop orders. Why would you want to go short this market? The Nasdaq right now is up 1.7%. And just doing this. We said days ago we were bullish. The bullishness continues, man. The Fed has your back. So it's full sales ahead. You're going to get 50 more rate cuts, 50 more basis points coming up soon as well. So if you don't believe this market has legs, I feel like ZZ Top right now, you know. They've got legs and they know how to use them. And the futures right now has these legs.
Like
they are running, boy. They are running to the upside.
This portion of the show brought to you by our friends at VinFast, Vietnam's leading electric vehicle manufacturer. They've announced their Q2 2024 financial results with deliveries surging 44% quarter over quarter to 13,172 EVs delivered, bringing the first half total to over 22,000, up 101% year over year. Q2 revenue, meanwhile, climbing 357 million, 33% quarter over quarter. VinFast's success in Vietnam is pivotal, driven by rising EV adoption with global expansion and new models like the VF3. VinFast aims to deliver 80,000 vehicles in 2024, maintaining its commitment to a sustainable mobility future. Just quickly, this RYDE popped up on a screener here in front of me, just got absolutely demolished through $1 there. There was a offering that just came through, if anyone was watching this ride to the downside, now a penny stock for ride. Let's talk about China, going the exact opposite direction here this morning. There's JD, 10.5% coming back in a little bit this morning. PDD, 10.5%. You'll see the trend continuing here. There's BABA, not quite 10%, but you get the picture here. Huge, huge moves once again.
Yeah, that's what $2 trillion or 2 trillion yuan, I should say, does in terms of stimulus there. So 1 trillion will be to stimulate consumption. They've been already doing that through investments. The other trillion is going to be able to address local government debt. That seems to be a big problem there in China. It's holding them back. Their goal is to achieve 5% GDP growth year over year, and they need to get their property sector under control, Brendo, because it still hasn't bottomed.
XPeng, the leader as far as the EVs is concerned, I think. Yeah. I mean, Li Auto actually having a pretty good morning here as well, almost 9%, but XPEV just took out the highs there as well. Bit of a pullback, guys.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, if I look at one of the EV names, it's usually going to be NIO, but shout out to XPeng and Li Auto. Pinduoduo, hey, we're in the zone now. Like that 200 period that looked like it was going to be incoming is $5 away, which for this stock is only 4%. It's up 11% right now. So this is, 200 periods at 130, just underneath 131 or so. That's a spot. I think it can be a fade. So waiting for it to get to that level, I think requires a little bit of patience. This move from the bottom here, it was down at like $88. So it's just a little different from the other Chinese ADRs at this point. It's the one that I could see running into a little bit of resistance. And even if it breaks to 130, for this to go all the way back to 140 is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. As far as Alibaba goes, that's the one we usually like to trade in here. You gap through everything, more or less, which kind of leaves you, we're already pulling back into 100. This already feels like it's going to do that pullback thing and that dip buy move that we usually see when you have this massive gap into the upside. And it was Pinduoduo that I was looking for the fade. It's BABA that's kind of already doing it. I think the 100 level is kind of an obvious psychological level. But I'm not really looking short on BABA. It's PDD in front of the 200 period moving average that I said yesterday I wanted short. If it gets to that price, I think with any kind of up push, it has a chance to get there for the fade. And we already went, like NIO, $6.30, it has to break. It's at like 605.
Wow. Okay, so Fabian messaged me earlier, he messaged in my ear, he's like, basically that he was glad that he had picked up some FXI, or at least that it was a good call. I assume maybe he's in it, but this is just one of those names again. I said yesterday that China would fade off that top, but then more stimmies come, and we've seen what happens in the U.S. market when there's some stimulus there. Mission passed, yeah, that is for sure. Right now, FXI, the Chinese government right now passing all the levels right now. Maybe they already have GTA 6, the Chinese government, I don't know. There's the break there, 29.50. They do, I think. Yeah, okay. Nice move to the upside. Who does? Take two? Oh, okay. What's it called? You'll tell me in a bit. What is it, a secret? I'm trying to give it to the people. Okay. Oh, I don't remember the name. Okay, my bad. Okay, so 29.50 breaking out. There goes FXI right now. Huge move to the upside and still going. You're already above all these levels, man. You're taking out year highs. Obviously, you're well above last summer's levels. But you're going to run into this. This is why I wanted to zoom out. You're going to run into this 33. This is January 30th of 23. So you still have a little ways to go. But that top, the market, a lot of the market topped out there. So we'll have to wait to see if 33 is in play. I think if you can get up there, that's when you start to put some puts on, or at least start to cover some of your positions for the downside. I think we're getting a little spicy right now in these ETFs. You don't see large cap. Type that to me, man. All right, so anyways, 27 up to 31, just major moves right now. I really like Alibaba. Let's hit the sirens for that one. Shout out to everybody, Shakib in the chat, everybody that's been pumping China's tires. You win, right? I mean, ultimately, we all win because we're long this name, but there it goes. Just look at the gaps. This is a very dangerous name to day trade because of these gap fills. I mean, it's hard to trust them as investments, but at the same time, I mean, like, look at this. You're running right into 104, 104, 104, 104. This looks like a top to me. I might exit some Alibaba, man. I mean, it is mission passed. It is chicken dinner winners, and that chicken can turn, foul. Very good one right there. Very quickly.
Someone's got to be there when Adair is off.
I just don't know if if that is one of those things that you want to short or not. But right now, Alibaba is upside and looking great. So I'd say you stay long these names. But for me now, I'm going to wait off. Wait for $100 even dollar level. Wait for the $6 even level on NIO. And I do not want to miss.
We got that super chat. You got it?
Yeah, I might as well because I just saw it here. 20. Whoops, why can't I get away from that? There it is. 20-year-olds, thank you for being a new subscriber there. The fact that you're this young is a huge advantage for everything investing-wise. Investing is a game that is a winning only game. And the reason why I say that is if you look over a chart over the last, so I'm like 31, so you're 20. So if you look over the last charts over the last 11, I can't even say it with a straight face. Over the last 11 years, you'll see the S&P 500 right now at all-time highs. So for me, this is not advice because we are not registered to give said advice. But I think a wicked way to start is in indexes. So that would be what I would say if you're going to invest your first $10,000. The advice that I would give my kids and giving myself as well is just to buy, slowly leg into the S&P, the Nasdaq, things like that. We talked about Berkshire. I would do that. The outlook on Tesla, of course, we've already went over this. We don't have too much time left. But the outlook on Tesla for me is we're near highs. We're near those summer highs of 260. I think there's a lot of excitement about the robo-taxi. I don't know if that event's going to be anything. There's already Waymo, which is Google, by the way. Google is running the story in self-driving right now is Waymo. So I still like Tesla. I think it's going to be special. I'm looking for a cheaper car. They need to announce a $20,000, $25,000 car.
Got to be able
on
to
the
compete
road,
with those
man.
Chinese vehicles.
Wheels down has to be a lower price. So for me, if they do that, then Tesla goes 300 and change.
Ooh. Is it S?
Just saw Mullen, guys, just pop up there. There was an order, apparently, MULN, moving around. Anyways, they received an order for their truck. Just a heads up if anyone's interested in Mullen. Let's talk about Meta. Big day yesterday. Did come off a little bit end of the day. Ends off the highs. Well off the highs. There was some selling into the close. But never mind, because we're gapping through that this morning, 1.5%. I mean, there's so much to touch on from this Connect event yesterday and the keynote from Zuck. We were mentioning, if you're with us in the first half an hour, it was a prototype, but these VR glasses that they were showing off, I think, is that the
It is, Brendo, yeah.
So we have a video of
And it's like, what's fantastic about this is that you don't have a shoe on your face. You're able to superimpose augmented reality in a form factor that I think a lot of people are willing to accept. Sure, it's a bit thicker, and you were mentioning to me off camera that you had the clear version of it. You could see the components inside. But I don't think it's too big. This wouldn't bother me. Yeah, I mean, I think there's still, and he even said, I mentioned I was watching a podcast with him that he did later in the day after the event yesterday, and he even said on that, this is just a prototype. So this is version 000.01A of what will end up being the actual product. But it was really cool to see the clear version showed every single millimeter of space was used with all the different components, the batteries, the processors, the speakers even. For the audio side of things, but just sign of things to come. Just fantastic look. Just also want to mention the Quest 3S. That's going to have a starting price of $299, which is quite ridiculous. They're also cutting the price of the Quest 3 down from $649 to $499. That's not a bad look. And the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, Brendo, can you believe they sold 730,000 of the first iteration? They're expecting over 1 million for the second. How did yours work? Went right back.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, going right after Apple too, guys. Not necessarily a positive here for Apple.
Not necessarily. And let's get to Meta quickly, but look, I wanted to get the other super chat here, and shout out to Nick W for the $10 super chat. Appreciate the kind words. I'm going to get to thoughts on a CCL swing because that was your question there at the end. On the weekly chart, this $20. There's the 200 period on the weekly as well. Like, it's just, I'd rather participate after it's breaking and closing above, technically, or you look for the support levels. Clearly, it's forming an upward trend with higher lows, but has yet to make that big breakout. They report next week, so you could always do, probably looking to gamble going into it that it's go to the upside, which I don't do things before earnings. I just look for the trades after the fact, technically. But was that back to Brendan already?
Powell hasn't started speaking yet, but the speech has been released, and there's no comments on monetary policy. So remember, we're supposed to get Powell at 9:20. Nothing yet, but apparently no comments on monetary policy from Fed Chair Powell.
All right, so that's good. I'd rather him not talk about it. We already sort of
Agreed.
know what's going to be happening right now as they are going to cut again. The next meeting. It's 9:25 right now. We can look at some of these imbalances. We'll do that in a second. But I have Meta 580 long break. Major event yesterday. Watch the spread, I was going to say today. Use less. I was going to downsize and wait for a bigger hold on Meta right there today because we have these bulls that are running again. And they're not running for the exits on Meta, that's for sure. It has faded out a little bit. We did get to 580. I only marked down 580 because it's 580. I mean, I don't really care what the top was. We've already blown it through there. I mean, that 550 was an absolute monster. Took that out. Look at this name. You want to talk about Meta's opportunity to go down as well. We had Nvidia dropping. That was 550 down there to 440. So you had a very, very dramatic drop back in July on Meta as well. Another retracement. So it's not like these names don't have the opportunity to come back in, but when they go, they go. And that 580 is just going to be a big break. So I think you want to take it. You know, like, look what the market just did. So that's the other thing right now is like you're also fighting a very big move in the Nasdaq over the last little while. Remember back in September when everybody was saying, oh, boo-hoo, September's going to be such a bad month. You know, it's historically the worst month. And I was even saying it, which is why I was trying to buy a little bit. I thought that was overdone. I mean, there's been so many good stories this month. And Meta just kicks it, I mean, basically ends the month yesterday with another good one. And then Micron comes out and smacks everybody in the face. Oracle, another huge story for the tech space. I mean, that was huge for the month of September, just creating like waves, you know? So it's just a matter of time before they all come back. I mean, Amazon is another name that just 195 break today. I mean, this is almost back to those levels where Bezos looked so smart for selling them all and then probably buying it back down here. You know, this is what the market is. It's very rigged, but at the same time, you got to respect what's happening here. Just take the opportunity to buy good companies when they dip down. That's the way investing works. You know, try to buy the best names, do your research on them, and hopefully they'll be winners. I think Meta today is a winner. I want to buy this through 580. Share size is in question because I think it can move $5 on you real quick.
I'm feeling like it might dip because of what's happening in the market. And it's a weird level because the event high was much higher than this, but the previous high 2 days ago was 574 in here. Look at that little wick. And then there was resistance at that price yesterday as after they mentioned most of the AI stuff and things started settling down in the event, it put resistance in at 74. So I like that level. I think it needs to hold on to this. As a matter of fact, now we're starting to head into the downside. Imbalances are out. NIO's a buy of 1.4 and BABA's a buy of 800,000. Nvidia was a sell. I don't see it there anymore. But yeah, so buy imbalances on NIO and Alibaba. But a big move to the, maybe not a big move, but you guys just saw like a $3 move into the downside on Meta. I feel like we're going to be doing some dips here at the open. Although I look at Nvidia, Nvidia's at the high of the day. Micron's not going anywhere. It's Tesla going down, Apple going down right now, Meta heading to the downside. To the desk?
Real quick, DraftKings, guys, huge day yesterday. The short float coming into play a little bit here, but 2% about to take out the highs here. Nothing really new.
JP Morgan maintaining their coverage on DraftKings with overweight and a target $54. Nothing different. The past was 48. This was running yesterday because Flutter Entertainment gave positive guidance for 2027.
Yeah, 1 minute to go here, guys. About to take out the highs.
This is a double top on. I don't know, but I don't like this.
Talking about DraftKings.
It's look, 42 was the high yesterday. You kind of rallied in there. It gave you the dip at the open back in a previous high. So like to me, the dip it goes into 41 where it closed, and I'd much rather be looking at something like that. I just feel, we were up almost 2%. The Nasdaq just pulled back a few points to 1.5. I think we can go a little bit dip buy hunting in here. We didn't really talk about Tesla, specifically I don't think, but the other day it was 250 that we couldn't take a break because it gapped over. It dipped into 250. Yesterday, 257 was a clear high. I think you're dipping. Right now, it needs to hold on to that 57. Simple strategy. Prior support or resistance turns into the opposite. If you like the law on Tesla, I like it there at that 257. I'm dropping the countdown, but there's no one to ring the bell, and I don't have anything I can quickly throw on it. The bell's sponsored by Firefly Neurosciences, and let's ring it in 2 and 1. And that's a miss. And okay, there you go. That's what I'm talking about, Ramin. You got to get the job done. You know what? The first time you might miss, but the second time was a hit.
All right, we're into a small little trade here with Nvidia. I mean, it does break through. We'll see. It does break through 127. Let's wait to see. We talked about maybe having some pressure there early. If we break through this 125, we'll get out of Nvidia right now because it is pushing back down. We did not want to use the same amount of share size that we used on this trade previously because, again, we knew there was going to be a little bit of a pre-market push here coming for Nvidia. So 125, if we do wind up losing that, let's get out of NVDA. So right now, that's the only name that we're in. We did take a little bit of a pre-market high and just bought a little bit down here as well. Micron.
Micron broke.
Yeah, we talked about Micron. I mean, it literally says take the pre-market break. We don't have it. Instead, we have Nvidia. It's Micron right now ripping through 115. I mean, people were like, who's buying Micron off the open? Well, someone is, but there's the little bit of a fade. So it's just Nvidia. It looks like we'll wind up losing on this one early here. Nvidia, there's the break. It looks like it wants to keep going to the downside. We have 126.76. So get ready. The pressure's here on Nvidia early as it looks like there's some profit taking coming through. We can get something out if it pops back up here into the 30s to relieve some pressure. But right now it's Nvidia. It's making moves and it's making moves lower. So if you got to be patient with it, fine. But right now the pressure to the downside. I mean, look at the futures right here. They're getting absolutely smoked back in. So we'll hold out that maybe this is a dip buy opportunity. We'll see.
Yeah, it's trying to bounce off that 26 as we speak. I'm trying to get a little bit more. It's Micron. Look, Micron is the one that's stealing all of the smoke right now. As it's through, I can cancel 110. That's a completely irrelevant order at this point. Looks like it wants to break 115. Like I said, I don't want to chase this morning, so I'm not going to chase the move to the upside. We're going to look for a bit of a dip buy, maybe back into 113. Looks pretty good. Tesla didn't get to 257, but Tesla is absolutely flying back into the upside.
Tesla?
So Tesla,
no.
Yeah. Well, it did. Okay, so it got to 259. Oh, a second ago it was back through 261. Yeah. So it had bounced $2, and then by the time I flip back to it, it's here at 260.5. So there is a bottoming pattern happening in Tesla, or at least attempting to. Apple's still falling and about to go red. That's what's dragging this market down. It certainly isn't Micron. Micron's having itself a day. PDD, of course, Nvidia goes down first. PDD just wicked that 130 level. So either you're sitting on the offer, which I didn't want to sit on the offer at 930. I wanted to see it fail 130. There it is. It just went through 130, now back at 27. So look for an opportunity to short that level again. I'm not sure what Bob is doing, actually.
Yeah, I'd like to try to do something myself right now, but honestly, I mean, all we are in right now is Nvidia, and we've taken some hits on it because we just keep on getting out on these little bumps up. Just holding out. We still have about 65% or so of this trade, so hoping that this will eventually start to go. But I don't know, man, losing faith right there. We did buy some 126s, but other than that, we have to wait because we did take that 27 break. We're okay on the 27 break. It's just it's not It's not bumping right now. We said we'd look at some China names today. Shout out to China right there. And look at that. We said that this is very manipulated. Not like, who would have known? The stock up 8% and just opens up flat and not doing anything right now, Alibaba. So I think 103.60, if we want to break that top, maybe there's something there for Alibaba as the market's trying to get going again. So, move down into 20,400 now. Again, wow, I can't believe we're saying that, 20,400. Nice move up, and here it comes. Let's see if Alibaba wants to take that high right there, 103.60. Wow. I think that might be worth a go there on Alibaba, 103.60. Yeah, we probably take that long.
Yeah, so Meta's back above 574. There were more dumps at the open. Actually, while we were looking at Micron and Tesla, Nvidia, and Pinduoduo, Meta dumped through 574, tagged 72.5. And then right back above. I want this higher low here.
Baba just went
See if
right
we can
now.
get 575. Wow, already?
Like we just talked about Alibaba, and then let's go, man. That's a chicken dinner freaking winner right there on Alibaba. So let's just see how far it wants to go up, man. We didn't get that much out. So let's get something out in the 90s if we're able to. Here for Alibaba. There it is, man. Spin the moneymaker right now for Alibaba. We still hold out hope for Nvidia, but we said we'd be trading Chinese names. And there it goes, baby. It's Alibaba with a nice little move here back upside for BABA. Trade the Chinese names, man. Trade the names that have been strong today. We do that here with Alibaba. So a nice little win here, breaking through 103.60. That came real quick, man. That was like bang, all of a sudden in our face there. Alibaba. We'll still hold on to this one. Give it a little bit of time. We're out of 40%.
Yeah, watch out here. Meta and Nvidia starting to come back in. Where are you, Meta? There we go. Load. There we go. Hit enter. Oh my goodness! I always have to hit enter twice when I'm calling up symbols. Sometimes Meta just bounced off 575. Oh, seller at 76, refresher at 76 there on Meta. So we dip back in. So your higher low here is at 574.5 on Meta. It just wicked the 75 level, came right back underneath. This market is bleeding right now. So it gets weird to be long and not be looking for anything short because the Nasdaq just broke through overnight lows. The ES is actually tumbling. Yeah, I'm going to get out if we break this local bottom on Meta. I don't like that at all. Like, I got the bounce. It goes right up to 76.5. Next thing you know, there's a seller on the way back in, $1 down. So I'm going to jump out of that. We're looking weak right now.
Yep.
Tesla's do 259. Nvidia, at least Nvidia.
It is trying.
At least Nvidia's trying. It's trying to bounce off VWAP. I actually have a reload at 126 in there. I'm missing a wick, but obviously that candle. Yeah, we're coming right back into 26. We get off the bid and see where we bounce and then try and take whatever bounce it's going to give me here. So good look so far to at least hold the bottom on Nvidia while everything else is plunging. Tesla's at 259 and going lower. Oh my goodness, we should probably just be short Rivian.
I mean, the market has a lot of space to go still. It could come back in, is what I'm
Rivian
saying
continuation.
It's still up that 1.1. Yeah, Rivian, we love some Rivian.
I totally forgot about this.
That is for sure. All right, Alibaba makes a dip down. We did not get 103s. We were waiting to sort of buy some of those dips in Baba, but didn't come through. We are still nicely long this name and trying to get more out as we get closer and closer. Okay, we averaged in. Neil and I both talked about this on our favorite stock lately. Anyways, Nvidia. So we got a good little move here. Let's just hope this market can continue its upside push. Nvidia could be an absolute beast. We just need it to go. So let's see if we can do that and go over to Brendo.
Pre-market, guys, but an earnings name as well. CarMax, KMX was red significantly back below $70, just went green and then some. So a nice reversal here for KMX ripping up.
Oh boy, up. Yep, we are severely green now. There goes Nvidia right now. We just get some out. Nice topside play there for Nvidia. So let's see if it wants to go. We just bought those 126s. Again, we had written down here 125 as dip buy long opportunities, but you take what the market gives you, and there it is right now, 75 cents in the money on some shares. So we'll wait to see if Nvidia wants to make this that special day that we are all hoping it is. There goes Nvidia. Nice move up. Let's take some more out. Yeah, 17s. Give me those. Give me that. Nice move up to 21s now. Here it is. There it is. It is your first, I don't know, unless you have $1 on right now. It is the first dollar right here. Let's see if we can keep going on Nvidia. It is by far the biggest stock for me there today, as Bob is not doing anything, but it's Nvidia that's making it scream to the upside. Good job there, NVDA, man. You had me worried for a minute. Thanks, Jensen Ayal.
Jensen is happy as a man in goggles.
This guy
so
happy,
look, you're going to the upside on Nvidia, but we just tagged 111 and reclaimed it on Micron as well. So Micron headed right back in. I don't know if it was going to get to the 110 level, but the second Nvidia started to go and Micron failed to break out. Now holding 111. I think we got to go into the longs here. I think we forgot all about Tesla, but it doesn't really matter at this particular point. Tesla still looking relatively weak. I want to add to Nvidia in here. I think we're headed to 130 today. So that's going to be the same old story.
Yes.
Last time it was the same pattern. We made the first available curl, grabbed out, and then looked for the dip back into VWAP or the previous pre-market high. There's some size at 25 or 27.5, I should say. Chewed right through it. So the trail's going to go in here, and we're going to be buying dips on this, almost no question. This one is definitely going. I haven't checked in on any other chip names outside of this and Micron. I'm going to make an assumption that they're all going to the upside. Apple just went red, however.
Guys, this is why you use bigger shares, honestly. There's no other reason why. It's so that when stocks go and they go in your favor and they do what you thought they would do, you're able to absolutely cash in. And that's exactly what Nvidia did. And this is the one thing that I'm realizing more and more, man, is that if you see the trades you like, you just got to take them, man. And I mean, this is an absolutely monster play there for Nvidia. I want to thank everybody. Yeah, you got to definitely, you got to hit the register. Yeah, let's hit the register right now, wherever that is. I don't even know where it is. We'll just go props up to that one as it just keeps on going upside, upside, upside. Nvidia, we just cleaned some out at 60s there. And that's the other benefit, right? When you use more shares, you also have more outs. You have the ability to get in and out of your position when you see fit. You can always look back and be like, why did I get out? Welcome to my world. But at the same time, you have to get out sometimes. And we actually got out of Alibaba there. Alibaba does break down lower. I guess a little bit of wool over our eyes there as it goes up. We take the first fill. We got out of 40% of it. We averaged in. Now it drops down. So that is our friend Alibaba as it continues to go lower right there. But it's Nvidia that's really the belle of the ball here today. So let's just continue to watch, see what winds up happening. But I like this call. We are now out of, we have about 20% left, maybe a little bit less than that. But Nvidia, nice move up, man. I mean, those outs were key. 127.50, 127.60. So let's see what happens now with NVDA as it's pulling back in a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to tank into VWAP here.
Wow.
We're about to get it back again. The ES, Nasdaq, all going to the downs. Like, this is the Nasdaq here while Nvidia's on that run. Right through the lows. We're actually only up 1% now, 1.1 when we were screaming into 2. So it looks like we're only going to get to VWAP in here. I'm going to reload back into Nvidia. Scott Henderson saying Amazon's closed its gap. I'm looking at Tesla, Nvidia, PDD, Micron, and Apple right now. So you got to try to focus on just a few names. And it's Apple that is the most concerning, still tanking and now red after that MetaConnect event. They were gapping like everybody else, but big level at 225 incoming on Apple. We didn't even get to these guys, but 225, big level on Apple. That's the only place I'd be looking for any kind of a dip buy. So Nvidia is the name I'm looking for the dip. We're sitting right in front of VWAP here. Tesla 257, not there yet, but we are trending back to the downside here on Tesla. Pinduoduo, still trying to lurk toward that 130, but you're finding resistance at 128. So a little bit of trouble here for PDD as it's trying to get down. I wanted this one short. Not sure if we're going to get the price we want.
Yeah, good call on that. All right, so same thing. I mean, I think Neil and I are on the same page here trying to get some shorts, get some more longs in Nvidia, but right now those longs do not appear to be present. So we'll wait to see if we're able to get anything on NVDA 126, 126.60, 126.70 is actually where I'm sitting right now on Nvidia. So we'll wait to see if we're lucky enough to get anything there. But that's what we're waiting for right now on NVDA. So let's wait to see if we do get that nice upside move. We can let Baba try to calm down a little bit. I don't know if it's going to. But right now, Alibaba dancing around a little bit there. We did want to check out on Micron. Again, a big name here today. We were always talking about trying to find strength and weakness in some of these markets. Today, Micron on earnings gave us exactly what we needed. but at the same time, relatively tough trade early because it does break that high. We did think that that would happen, but look what's doing right now. Back down to the 200 period of 110 and change. So that's definitely something that many of you are going to want to look at here for Micron, thinking about dip buy opportunities down to 110. I know you were
This is so strong.
to Meta. Is it Meta you're talking about? Oh,
No,
Nvidia.
no, Nvidia.
Yeah, I mean, we love Nvidia.
No,
for sure. 580 break still alive.
I'll
here.
tell you, look, Meta, I'm not down the stock, but I'll tell you I got the bat out. And we had this conversation. I'm not going to rehash it. You can watch the aftermarket show. Hey, if you make a decision that's wrong at the right price, then at least you knew where to make a decision. You just got to get back into the stock sometimes. Meta is up 1.4. Apple's bleeding and this is going higher. I feel like that makes a little bit of sense, but it also makes sense. It's back above the level that I wanted. So it did stop out. Probably shouldn't have used an even dollar stop. Should have just given it an extra 50 pennies, but I didn't, and we have to move on to the next. If we can get some higher lows going on Meta, I think this one can be a trend to the upside. Right now, it's really just Nvidia that I'm trying to pick up here. I just canceled VWAP because it's not getting there. And yeah, I mean, I was sitting at 50s. I'm probably just going to split the difference and sit in the 75 range here in the middle and try to pick this up. But the market is falling enough that I think you'd be able to get the bid you want. One more, it's not a change of plan, but it's something we didn't mention. Rivian is approaching $11. That $11 break from yesterday, that kind of didn't happen. Still looking for that and short back into the pre-market highs. In case we have a down day, it's a stock I like short. So still focused on Nvidia. And yeah, PDD, I don't think there's going to be an opportunity for that 130 again. It happened really fast. If you weren't sitting there at 930 for that spike, you had no chance. Like after it was through 130, it dropped like $2 instantly.
Got no chance in hell.
No chance, because that's what
again,
you got.
More shout out to the WWE there.
I want a button
and
for
Vinnie Mac. I got to watch that Netflix special there on Mr. McMahon. Okay, so all right, a 580. I still like the 580 break on Meta. Let's just stay there and let's wait to see if that does happen. Really holding the bid well is Meta, despite this move to the downside. So I think if we're going to find one that is relatively strong versus weak, we found one, a tag, you're it, Meta, for today. So we'll continue to watch out and see if that is something that we can do. There's the reload on Nvidia. I mean, we are reloaded. Don't know if that means it's going to be a good thing or not, but there's the reload there on on Nvidia, as we discussed. So let's take a piece out now. There we go. We get some 90s. We got 70s there. So that was a good little reload. For now, it's good. Who knows where it is later on? So right now, we will continue to watch out for Nvidia. Nice job there. Hopefully, as we'll just sort of Barry Horowitz ourselves, pat ourselves on the back for that reload, and then we will wait to see where it goes now. Take something out at 127. Wait for a little bit higher than that as well. But so far, so good here, as Nvidia has that reloaded moment. So okay, that's good. We're happy with it.
Sevens.
Yeah. What else was going on?
No, 27 on Nvidia has a refresher. That's all. So I'm saying get through that price. Tesla's trying to make a 260 higher low, so we're not. I don't know. I keep leaving the chart up on Nvidia because I'm still on the bid here, but Tesla doesn't get to 57. The higher lows being put in now. Looks like it wants to take this 260 and hold on to it. I still want to be buying a dip in Tesla, but this market is giving me the feels that we should be very patient for any dip buys. Apple 225 is going to be in play, but I still feel if you're going for one of the Mag 7 that isn't Nvidia, it should be Meta. Meta's just a little bit stronger than Apple. They had the event, all that good stuff. You're going to dip back down in here. If VWAP doesn't hold, it's the 54. Got to trade it better. The first time through, had the bounce, didn't hold on to it. The next time, we're not going to miss our chance on Meta. Remember, you're getting some, it's like Bowman speaking now, but it wasn't anything policy related when Powell was talking either. So I think we're kind of okay there.
Yep, good call on all of that. We did get that out on Nvidia, but still waiting for that. We are still waiting for that Meta call as well to break back above. Let's just have a double check on that one. So, not doing anything. Okay. Hopefully it will start to do something soon. But right now, Meta is just kind of doing its own thing right now. So let's just continue to watch out. Faraday futures apparently starting to go crazy. FFIE.
Oh, they reverse split.
Oh, that's probably why. Okay, so there it goes. FFIE right now. Nice upside move. So we'll wait to see here. Up 20% on Faraday. Maybe Brendan?
But real quick, we were talking about some of the travel names in the pre-market if you were with us. UAL, 6.5% here. 52-week highs as well.
Jets ETF is a good way to do that, not the Jets. Tonight we have a good game, don't we? We have the Dallas Cowboys.
No, we don't have a good game.
That's going to be a good game. What do you mean?
No,
we hate on the Cowboys. What's going to be a good game? No? I don't know. I think it'll be a good game. Well, yeah. Neil's love for the Dallas Cowboys runs very deep, and part of it is because you guys scarred him with the Buffalo Bills, of course, going to 4 straight Super Bowls, and basically doing something that nobody thought could be possible.
The Cowboys line is the bit of Nvidia right now.
Yeah, there goes Nvidia right down to the downside right now. Where's my stop on Nvidia, by the way? Oh yeah, 125 and change. So there goes Nvidia to the downside. It looks like we will get stopped out as this market is showing no fear right now to any of these longs. They're
didn't
just
get a single short.
You're long, you trapped right now. We'll offer some out here at 90s.
Yeah, it's all
Tesla dumping as well, 258.
Yeah, Tesla's through 58. I'm in Rivian, but it is what it is. It's Nvidia that's going to turn us red because it's trying to hold on to these pre-market bottoms. All right, you need to regain. If it regains 26, then it's kind of like this over-under. You haven't broken the pre-market low. Nasdaq is kind of leveling off here. Need to hold through 26. If you're not holding back through 26, then to me, this is not going to be any good. As I said, Rivian's the only thing I'm short. It's not really moving very far. The good news is Apple's starting to turn back upside. So the weakest name is starting to go back into the upside, which does make me believe they're trying to bamboozle us out of the long. Let's see how we respond to VWAP here on Nvidia. Rivian, as I said, we were able to get into this one short, but this is off of pre-market highs, not off of the levels from yesterday. So forget about 11.5. I'm basically playing off 11.5. And it's weird to me that this stock is going up all of a sudden when Nvidia comes down. So if we break the pre-market high, I'm out. That's 25 to 30, understandably a tight stop. But hey, Rivian is technically up 2%.
Okay.
Well, not technically, it is up 2%.
We talked about, you just said it's a good thing that Nvidia was holding. I kept on calling Rivian Nvidia yesterday as well. But there it goes, man. We did buy some dips there. We did get some out when it broke 126. We did not get stopped out. We told you that we are not at that stop out level yet, 125 and change. Downside 125.75 for the stop out there in Nvidia. But there it goes. Climbing back upside. So let's hold on here now. We've already done the damage here on Nvidia. Let's just see if we can keep it going and make a little bit of cash here into this move up. All right, now it's back up into the 50s. 127 would be pretty sweet if we're able to do that. So let's just hold out and see if we can get some 127s now on NVDA. Was there any other names you guys are looking at right now? Because for me, it's
CarMax is...
okay, that was another one.
It's impressive.
Okay.
Look, first of all, I
am
distinctly shocked that KMX is now up 5%. So got to acknowledge it. Shout out and congratulations to anybody. Oh yeah, I can't. I need a new one. We need a new key for when I want to congratulate because it just doesn't work and I hate hitting that. But CarMax, V-shaped recovery, looks like it wants to take out the top. The best thing that can happen for a squeeze-type name is to squeeze shorts after you've trapped more of them. And that's what just happened on CarMax. Watch out for 80. The 80 looks like a pretty big level if we can get there. Not the fish that I'm frying because we're only in 2 stocks, and it's Rivian and Nvidia. As let's go to the desk. Brendo.
Just quickly, guys, that FFIE looks like some CEO or executive changes. So new CFO I see for Faraday. Tired of being late to the trade, always playing catch up in the market, missing out on the big moves because you're too slow to the news. Benzinga Pro is your unfair advantage. You get breaking news alerts up to 30 minutes before everyone else. Pinpoint exactly why stocks are moving and join a thriving community of traders who share their strategies in real time, ready to see how Benzinga Pro can transform your trading. Visit benzinga.com/pro and get a free 14-day trial.
Make sure you visit Benzinga Pro. Luna for coming on yesterday as well and dropping some of his knowledge about some of those small cap names and teaching us about that Benzinga Pro platform. It's a good one. We do have it in our ear. Of course, when we have Brendan on the desk, I mean, we level up. So that's leveling up from Benzinga Pro. So you do get a free version with Brendan.
I'll give Brendan free.
Yeah, we'll, okay. Bob it down to 102 right now. I mean, I would love for this market to battle back. We have a big winner again on Nvidia right now. Our offers, I'm going to take a piece right now, 75. Let's just do that. There it is, man. Ring the register, a little bit of a hot dog can in there. As we did buy those 126s. We did get some out. Man. We were pretty close to getting stopped out. So we did get some out on that 126 break initially, but able to buy that back as it held it. And again, you got to stay strong on some of your ideas, right? And obviously Nvidia, as Neil and I mentioned, that's been the one for us. So we'll just continue to hope that it continues to be the one there today. Great call. We've talked about it. I haven't any trades on this, but good call, I thought, on DraftKings at that $40 level. It's breaking out now. Upside is DKNG, but not doing too much today as another kind of rate sensitive name here with DraftKings could be in look and in focus over the next little while here as it continues to move higher. We got that good report from Flutter yesterday, and these guys are definitely seeing the benefit there. So good job for anybody that's been trading on DKNG up to $42. Looked like a pretty good stop and go zone there. We have 44 as a top, 43.50. So again, just pay attention to your positions and monitor them. I like that 43 break there on DraftKings. I think Alibaba, if it can get to 100, might be something there. It's only at 102 right now, but it's trying to bounce underneath VWAP. So that's generally been a look for me to go the other way, right? So if you're under VWAP, we're looking to go short. 101 is the 200 period moving average. The market needs to be turned around. I'm completely fine holding on to a long of Nvidia, but honestly,
everything else looks like a short.
That's the thing. And I think Nvidia actually looks like a short too. We just took that out at some out there at 75. I mean, it's strong, and I'm holding the long. If I thought it was a short, I would just get out immediately. But for right now, let's just see what winds up happening here. It's Nvidia, and it's trying to hold the top. So Neil's not wrong there for sure.
The frustration for myself is I had disappointment with what Microsoft was doing, and it should have just been, no, Microsoft is relatively weak. Maybe this is going to break down, but it doesn't matter. Don't have it. Softy's about to go red. Apple already did and is now back to green. But I don't want to. I'll update you. Nvidia got to VWAP, so that's good, but it's not holding VWAP. That's bad. So we did get that dip, but it's not holding above VWAP. Unfortunately, look, it's holding the low, but that's lower highs as well. It needs to break this slight trend that it's put in here. I'm kind of getting it just to show you guys, right? Like this is the trend that it's forming. It's a really bad trend line. If it holds the other side of this, I think we're back to adding to the long and then going higher, which now it is obliging us to do. Rivian got to VWAP and no further. Average price was 20. Okay, I got to 24s after I got to 25 halves, so my average price is going to say 24 because I got the first ones, whatever. It's just first in, first out. But it's bouncing off VWAP. If Rivian takes out the high, I'm getting what out of Dodge. If the market's going down and Rivian's breaking out tops, it doesn't make sense to short it just because the daily chart says so. This could easily turn around. Carmack's going up. Barry saying, have a look at SMCI. No issues. I'm trying to be patient till 10 o'clock here. We're just only in the two names. SMCI, here you go. Always want to see where the relative strength is. SMCI is breaking out the tops. If it can, well, okay, never mind. Yesterday's high, the high from 2 days ago is like a 480, but this is a strong name as well. Hopefully, Nvidia can stay strong, but it needs to hold above 127. That's just not happening right now. And then, oh yeah, Tesla was the other one we wanted to get to. Tesla not getting to 257. That was my level. It's a previous high. It keeps bouncing off 258. At some point, if it keeps holding above the level I like, I got to have a long, even if it's not going to be right at the price that I like. But it's finding support at 58 now twice.
All right. Yeah, not as good of a day today as yesterday. We'll be roughly green on this day, but it's just because we had lost on Alibaba, and we're just kind of holding fort now on Nvidia. I mean, I wish I could say we were up huge on this, but as Coffee Trader and some other traders in the chat there, it's like you're already
AMD's
like
better.
sort of leveled into some of these names. So it's like, do we really want to take more risk at these levels? And I think the answer maybe is yes. Tesla right here at 260.50. Maybe this goes. I like the stock, but there it is right there. I'm going to try this break of 260.50. Hopefully it will get going there. We'll try it, and then if it breaks back down below 260, we can get out. So this, I think, is a try. We just got out some more of Nvidia there at O's, so that's pretty good. 126.85 is actually where we were at, so that's going to be a stop for us. Let's see if it continues to go upside. But right now, the next one that will execute will be Tesla. And I mean, we missed the bottom of 258. We didn't write down anything to there. Oh, we actually did. We wrote down 257 dip, but we didn't get there. We got to 258.20, so I'm not going to cry over that spilt milk right now for Tesla. But look, man, maybe it's not that strong. It just keeps on hitting. All right, I'm going to cancel. Like, we're already in Nvidia. Nvidia's running. This just keeps on waiting to break. You know what? All right, I'm going to put it back in. Wow, I just keep on changing my mind here. 260.50. Let's try it. Hopefully we get it on a break. And hopefully it works. So here it comes, coming back in for Tesla. Let's give it a shot. It keeps on getting bought up. I mean, that little buy up right there was 259.80. So I guess that's going to have to be where our stop is. Let's take a shot here on Tesla, man. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? We lose? I think it's worth the shot now. TSLA trying to take out that high, 260.50. We're going to go long. I like the stock. If there's a rebound in today, it should go. We're already almost $1 in now on Nvidia. So let's just keep the party going, man. Good trading over here. Let's just wait for patience on the stocks that we like. I think that's important.
Exactly. I'm not looking at gift horse them out. There's another refresher at 27s on Nvidia. I just took a leg out, but we got some super chats in here. We called them out in the morning. Shout out to you and thank you, Mashworth. Appreciate you. Willis Addison as well, and then Devian Wade, DLTR, and just says DLTR in my name. So DLTR is on a bit of a recovery pattern here. They got destroyed on earnings, as you guys can all see on the daily chart. But nice move to the upside. On light volume, however, it's not going to be a day trading stock for me. So all I will say is it's trying to trend up. I don't think it's established any strong trend because volume is so light. I would look at something like a VWAP normally, but this it just doesn't seem like it's got enough action for a day trade. It sets up as a breakout through 73.5, but if there's no volume, I don't like a breakout. But technically speaking, it's setting up a good one there. The only other position I'm in right now is Rivian, and Rivian, I mean, it's gently trying to head back down to 11. Remember with Rivian, after that flush yesterday, 11 was the bottom twice. So it bounced off 11 2 times. I want to look to take profits in front of 11. If it can eventually break that low, I think it's a separate trade on Rivian breaking down through 11 even. For now, we're just going to take it to the quarters, to 11, and then go to the desk for Brendan.
Still seeing some Fed comments coming through right now, guys. Just be aware. There's nothing on the schedule for 10 o'clock, but Fed's Bowman speaking right now, so heads up on that. Fed's Williams seems to have wrapped up. That was the last one that we saw on this calendar at 9:25 there, but nothing again from any of these apparently in the way of monetary policy direction. So 10 a.m. we just got pending home sales there, month over month, 0.6% to the upside. Smaller than expected, was supposed to be 1.2%, comes in just about 0.5% there. Negative 3%, meanwhile, year over year is supposed to be negative 6% on the forecast. The big one still, Micron trying to hold 111 here, pre-market lows, but what a day for some of these semiconductors, including, Nvidia still chopping around at the highs or thereabouts, but back and forth we go. We mentioned this briefly pre-market. There was another, I think it was Bernstein with a positive note this morning on Starbucks once again. So I just saw that pop up through 98 there on some volume. Volume overall, not great, but Starbucks still 2.5% to the upside. Speaking of highs, this is IBIT, the Bitcoin ETF, right here, right now, trying to break out on that daily chart. If you zoom out a little bit, guys, for Bitcoin.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, 64.5. Good look there,
yeah.
Brendo. Yeah, we did not recognize that.
I'm always looking over at Sean's screen for Bitcoin because I don't have to look at my IBIT because he has the real number there. IBIT, you can see the levels, you just can't see the actual price. That's all.
Yeah, IBIT, I mean, again, another great, tool to sort of use there to trade in the coins of Bit. All right, so more outs there at 127. Like, honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't really want to be in this too much if we break below. We've already talked about where we're trying to reload this name. I mean, maybe 126 one more time. But I feel a little silly keep on doing this. We're up on the stock. We're up nicely on the stock, but everything can disappear like real quick, man. And I'm still waiting for that Tesla. It looks like we should have maybe thought about it the other way around. I mean, if we just kept on shorting here, we'd be happier than what we are now being flat on the stock. But being flat is not a bad position. It's just not doing what we're waiting for it to do. Hasn't done what I'm waiting for it to do. So 260.50, but here it comes turning around. I keep on changing my mind on this stock because despite being up 1%, I don't necessarily just look at what this number is. You have to play the trend. And right now, obviously, when the market being up, you're like, well, let's look for stocks that are up. But it's not That's not the case here right now for this name, because you can see that it's a huge downside push right now to the Nasdaq. So you're actually trying to look for maybe names that are weaker that have tried to battle back right now. So I think that that might be one of the things there. And if you're going to try to buy some dips in Tesla, I mean, 258 and change is available. I'd still rather play the break long, believe it or not. So that's still what I'm going to try to look for there on Tesla, is that break long. The other names we had written down were Alibaba today. Alibaba is the only, we're 1 for 2. We lose on Baba. We win on Nvidia right now, and that's it. We don't have anything else. Micron with a nice little pullback as well today. Really battling off that 200 period. That could have been bought. We were looking at VWAP. Maybe that's a break, 113.20 or so, but you get a little bit of a time to go before we get up to there. We talked about DraftKings. Quickly over to Miss Kathy Wood, see what she's up to right now with Palantir. Palantir with a move down. If you want it, there we go. So this could be a name here. Nice little gap up there for Palantir, trying to break through 37. You take VWAP, what about 37.10 right there on Palantir, trying to go upside. Then you have VWAP protecting you. You have the 50 period as we run into the 200, which is 15 cents. So I think you can get that right there, 37.10 break long coming through on Palantir. So that would be another area to look at there for PLTR.
So look, SMCI is still flying in here. Nvidia's right back to 27s. Until it gets to 27.5, we're still in the same story. Like my last out was at the 27 anyways, but SMCI just broke out 480s and it's continuing to fly higher. The stair step has now taken the final rung here, and if it makes another high on that daily, you've now broken out the last available top. So like, obviously I'm looking for this to get dragged up as well. Nvidia to get dragged up, which is a weird thing to say because SMCI shouldn't be leading anything, in my opinion, but it doesn't matter. It is. Apple doesn't get quite to 225, but maybe it was close enough, I suppose, because it's back at 227. What's weird is the market's still holding right at the bottom, and I'm seeing Nvidia goes back to 27, Apple's bouncing off 25 and held green. It's like, what is so bad? I mean, Meta tagged 570. I'm glad we got out of that one. It felt like, I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll reestablish the 574 level. It never happened. It just blew right through it the second time. So Meta, I mean, it's threatening like it could go red here. A little bit of caution. I've been asked a lot of times about Intel, but my thoughts with Intel was if it broke 24, wait for the closing price of 23.5 or reestablishing the 24 level, which it's trying to do now. So Intel dripped. I kind of felt like Intel might drip. It was up way too much, and now it's trying to hold on to VWAP. So if it can hold VWAP, I'd like longs over the 24 level. But this market's still, it's still preaching patience, I feel like, for the longs, with maybe the exception of Apple after that 225 bounce. So still in Nvidia. Rivian just tagged another bid here. I'm going to cancel the last one. So essentially the high is 30s, we're got mid-20s, and the bottom here is 11.08. We're looking for 11 even, and an 11 break I still think can be incoming on Rivian. There was one more thing I wanted to get to, and that is the missed opportunity on PDD. Looking for a spot to join this, the 130 short. That pullback, I guess we're not going to get. What I like about PDD is the fact that it's 10% up, but look at that downward trend on Pinduoduo, as opposed to Alibaba's, which, yeah, it's got some lower highs, but it held on a bit better. It's above VWAP. I feel like PDD was the one that was going to be weaker. It just missed the entry.
All right. Okay. We just had Tesla in the money 70 cents and didn't take it. So we're long now. I've got a little bit. I'm not fed up with it. It dipped down in. So again, we were looking there for the long break, right? 260.50. The market, and this is the other thing. We said that, right? It's like, instead of trying to look longs when the market's doing this, like trying to dip buy stuff like I'm clearly doing here on Tesla, it's probably better if just flipped over your bias and just try to go short until it proves you wrong. And I think that that's something that we could all learn a little bit better, is to play the momentum. And it's just like, we don't have to always look for those great dip buy opportunities. Sometimes it's just like, okay, I like the long break, but if the futures don't go, we could actually short in front of it, hold out for a bigger move down right there, and then take double the shares if we do break higher. So there is something to those strategies. But for me, again, a little bit surprised at this move down. I mean, Micron still trying to hold out. The Chinese names are there. I feel like a lot of that bump up today was due to China. Let's see if FXI is still holding out or not. That's still Tesla chart. Okay, FXI. Yeah, see, so FXI is still holding out good, right? So it's like the Chinese names are still actually doing pretty good on the top side. It's more some of these US names like an Apple, like a Meta that didn't carry forward, right? Meta went down there off the open pretty dramatically as well. So some of these moves, it's Nvidia, which is all the way back down here where I'm surprised. Where's my reload? Oh, 126.09. We'll just punch some more right now. There it is. We'll punch some more right now anyways. Okay, so just quickly, Tesla's on the way back up. So we're going to wait here. I'm waiting now. 259.40. If we do get a bid here on Tesla, 259.40, let's take it on the offer. There it is. Yes, sir. Okay. Now we're back in business, baby. Nice little move there for Tesla. Back up there to the upside. We just take that bid. It is Neil. There it is again. It's another Dollar Club winner for Tesla off the bottom end. So now let's see where it goes. Good dip by opportunities. Oh, and by the way, we still him, baby. Look at that move on Nvidia. That comes right back in. Neil, tell me you bought some of that. We got a beautiful bottom pick right there on NVDA. Loaded back up, man. We do have a somewhat big position back in on Nvidia. So let's just start to take it off, man. We're large on Nvidia and in charge right down here at 126.
Yeah, I backed off the bid to wait to see the other side of it. The plan of action has got to be a little bit cautious. We're still making those lower highs as we speak. But I'm ready for the reload. I'm just not going to rush into it. The market's taking lows right now. What I do like, I'll tell you, is there's a bit of a trend on ARM here. It's looking relatively weak. It's got lower highs. If we break this trend line, I think this one can also fly to the upside as we're trying to go. Micron's the other one I want to jump back into. Micron's taking out tops here. It's making higher lows and just looks a little bit stronger. So VWAP on Micron at 112. I'm going to get into this one. Again, we had Micron early, went 1 for 2 on it off that 111 level. Now 112 is starting to hold. It's got a lot of room. It's the leader in terms of why we're up in the day in the first place. Market is trying to bounce here, starting to look a little bit better. So it's time to get back over to at least Micron as it's breaking higher. I hope that's Randy behind me, because I'm freezing.
It is. He's coming with some drinks right now.
Oh, thank goodness.
I just want to tell you guys right now, despite being basically 2 and 1, right now we will go ahead today and put our name right back at the top there of the leaderboard. So another good day of trading here. Hopefully you're positive. Today it's been a tough one. We will talk about the office as we get some time. But it was this dollar winner there on Tesla also, Randy, right back up there. Yeah, so we did buy that dip. Pretty lucky to have gotten that. Now, whether or not it comes back in right now is another story, as it looks like it is trying to bleed back in just a little bit. But hey, man, we keep saying this. This is why we're here. We're here to make some money. Nvidia drops right into some support one more time. So we buy that dip, put it on the board right now. We could exit our trade right now. And as I said, be there. Nvidia is going to be your number one name today, P&L wise, followed by Tesla, and then Alibaba just kind of hanging out, waiting for something to do, man. That Chinese play, difficult one there today, I find. But let's just wait to see. There it is again, Randy. It's Tesla. It is $1 now in the money officially, going back up there to the upside, looking to break longer on Tesla. Oh boy, what a good day this has been, despite the market being the downside. We only have longs today, and it's a trophy day. So far, so good with those. Yeah, man. And yesterday we really crushed Rivian. I see Neil's into Rivian. Rivian's been a great stock, P&L wise. So I wish you best of luck on that one. 260. Let's get a piece out here on Tesla and just ring the register, man. We've seen it bouncing off this 260 level a couple times. There we are. We're at 87 for some reason right now. Let's just cancel that. Hit offer, enter. Oh, of course we do that and it makes a move down. We're at 80. One more break higher. And there it is. It's your hot dog cannon. It's another winner right there on Tesla. So let's just wait now for 260.50 to see if that breaks. But there it is. Nice dip by opportunity there on Tesla, man. So congratulations if you took that. But yeah, let's see what happens now with Nvidia and Micron and all of them.
Nvidia, Micron, AMD, ARM, all of the chip names are looking like they wanted to go there, but not holding on to the trend was MU. I like the ARM trend, but MU came in first, and it just reverted underneath. I had a trend line. I'm not going to bother with it because it's already broken, but you can see there's your higher lows. It broke through. I get out. ARM is trying its best to break above and hold above. It's looking a little bit better, so we like this trend, but Micron was a leader, so we want to take some swings at that. Nvidia's looking fine. Rivian's looking okay here, so I'm not really complaining, but ARM is a bit of a new one. It's up 3 points today, but it's nothing egregious. The key, it held on to yesterday's high, and now you're trending back up. Need this to break out this level, which it's attempting to do now, and then stop back underneath that 151 where it connects with the trend line here on ARM. I did want to go over crypto for a brief second because when you're approaching that 65,000, Mara did indeed break 17, so I'll slap the fail on myself while we were looking at all of the chip names. Mara did make the 17 break on the daily chart. Only want to look long after this happens, but like I said, it already broke 17. It's at 1730, up 7%. So it's on one, obviously, as we can see. I like to join this party somewhere, but I'm not chasing any highs. I'd like to see it maybe pull back into VWAP, give us a more traditional style entry back into 17 even, or maybe the 1710 level that we can dig ourselves into. 65 breaks, I got to have a piece of this one on the daily. It's been level waiting to go for a while.
All right, good dip buy here on Tesla, and we just tweeted that out as well. So we just put out good dip buy there on Tesla. Now let's wait to see for that break. I mean, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that breaker long right now at 259 and change. I don't have any more bids down there for Tesla, so let me just make sure. I'm going to cancel my Meta as well. I think it's a good time right now to sort of do all of that. Cancel your bids, cancel your orders, and just, don't cancel them, but just make sure that you do have the active orders present and not too many orders out. And I say that because, I mean, first of all, props up, honestly, like sometimes we do feel, we talk about our own trades, but this is the show that we have. Like the bottom of the day to the 50 period moving average. I mean, I don't know, again, like if we patented something like that, but that's the play that I love to do. And we just did it right there. I know we always get talked about, we should write books and so on and so forth. That would be something that I would like to do, would be to focus on setups and plays. And I think that's, for me, boom, like that. That's a great one. We'll continue to do that more and more if available, right? I mean, we never know where these trades are going to come from, so we'll just keep on pushing forward with everything. Nvidia is just the only one that we have right now. Amazon, thank you so much there, Adrian. In the chat, we haven't looked at Amazon yet, and wow, down here at 191, I better start getting out of some of these shares or that Katina vacation will be canceled immediately. 191.50, 191.20 coming into play there for Amazon. Just looking at a larger time frame right now. There's a good, 191.50. Yeah, that's a good dip buy opportunity here for Amazon. Let's try that one. Good look on that for AMZN right now. Yo, Joe, my guy, how's it going over there? Did you have fun on the recap show last Friday? Are you ready to bring the heat today? All right, Joe's ready to go as well. Neil's ready to go.
Always.
Drop some knowledge here, Neil. Let's go.
Let's go get them. This is all brought to you, this segment and this portion. Oh, maybe not just yet. Okay, we have a couple of minutes. We'll get to it in a minute. I just get ahead of myself sometimes. But, okay, so Rivian's about to hit that low of the day. The market is trying to bounce off the lows. We're still trend down. There hasn't been a green candle on this 15-minute yet on the Nasdaq and the ES. So if we are going to continue on a downward trend, there are some things that I want to look at for that south side of everything. Rivian obviously being one of them. I know we've been talking. I didn't pay for locates today on DJT, which is silly. I usually do. That 14.4 was a pre-market high. I think it might pop and fade back into that one. Want to keep eyes on it. Apple made that bounce off 225, but it's still underneath resistance levels. So Apple looking like it's a bit of a stair step to the downside. I'm not at the point that I want to short this one yet. I have 227.5 marked off as the key. We're still in Nvidia, Rivian, and now into ARM. And the other one I wanted to get to obviously was Mara. Mara's starting to pull back. So with that pending 65K break on BTC, we're not there just yet. I do want to have this before we break that level. 17 is VWAP. 17 was a breakout on the daily. I'd like to grab 17s if it comes back in. But if we break out 65,000, I might just take Mara where it lies. So wherever it happens to be in that moment, we might just grab Mara, as it is an absolute 7% to the upside or 6.5 is still pretty good.
Took out 25%. I just want to let everybody know on Amazon there at 90, 191.87. So we take 20 cents there on only 25%. If Amazon breaks, which it could break, we are not chasing this name. This was, we had a bad day. What did I say? Thursday? Maybe it was Monday or Tuesday trying to chase this name. If it breaks lower, we gone, man, like Donkey Kong on that one. We'll wait to see if it breaks 191.50. That is my out spot there for Amazon. We will try to, you know what, now that we're just dumping in a little bit here, Let's buy some more 71s. I don't know, I just put a bid there. Hopefully we get the fill. There we oh, well, now we're holding it up. Okay, there's the run through there. So now we'll wait to see 50 break. We're gone. Again, momentum right now downside, but let's just try it. Nvidia trying to go back upside as well. Amazon trying to hold out. But for right now, it is what it is. We got to wait. Nvidia, nice move back up to 60. Let's take another offer. If we can get a 64, let's do it. And there it is, bang. Another one as we'll try to have as many of these diamond hands as we possibly can, but we're not playing off of a stupid meme, man. I mean, we will get out of these trades when we see fit. But for right now, it's a nice move back up there for Amazon. And by the way, it's reloaded time right now on Amazon. So let's wait to see if it continues to flush down or not. Now on Amazon, just comes back up into the 80s. Let's see if it gets going. AMZN, man. The party's just starting on this side. It's a trophy day right now. Not a huge day for the office. We can talk about that. I have no idea when you're supposed to do the ad read. I'm assuming it's coming up very soon.
About nowish. I just got it. Rivian bounced off 11, so we're out of that one. But this brought to you by Trade the Pool. Great update from Trade the Pool. Now it's even easier to get funded. As you know, Trade the Pool built a unique program to evaluate stock traders like yourselves and provide you with the company's funds to trade with. It's real shares. You no longer need to worry about the PDT rule. But that's not all. I have some exciting news for you today. Trade the Pool's introduced a new tier with 20,000 in buying power, making it easier to pass the evaluation and speeding up the process of getting funded much faster. That's right. It is that simple and it works. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description for more information. Shout out to Trade the Pool where they are chilling over there. So we're going to jump back over, as I said, 11 on here on Rivian. It just tagged 1103.
Watch out now.
So 1103 was actually the close price. It closed at 1103 yesterday. It just bounced off the close. So I'm now out of it. I feel like Rivian, if it goes red, the low yesterday was $10.98. So technically a flat bottom break would be losing 98, not 11 even, as I said. So being more precise about it, it would need to take out 98. I'm going to short pops in Rivian. It's a short till it's not, as far as I'm concerned. VWAP sits at 11.16. We can certainly wait for that. Coinbase is absolutely on fire. You're right about that, Fred. Wow. You're right about that, Eagle. It's 175 as we're just about to get to 65,000 on BTC. Mara does not dip. Obviously, Mara hasn't dipped into VWAP, as you guys can see here. But yeah, I might just take it where it lies. The next available dip feels like it's going to have to be it for Mara. The market's down. Coinbase, Bitcoin, Mara, they're all up right now. So that's where the relative strength is. I mean, SMCI as well. But yeah, we got to get into some Mara here. Should have had that 17 break. Kind of clean. It held on to VWAP on the way back in. But the trend is your friend here with the crypto names in general, not just them.
We're not down much on Amazon, but we almost out. I mean, 191, 50 broke. We're going to give it 10 cents. All right, let's take something out on this bump up through to 58. Okay, so we'll take something out there on Amazon. We're just long right here. It's definitely not an issue right now, but it's not reacting the way I'd hope it would. But here we go. You got to be patient with this market. We talk about that. Let's see if Amazon can get back going right now. There it goes. Nicely done right here. Let's see if it can drop down some cash in yield pocket. And there it goes, man. Nice little take there. There it goes. 69ers. Oh, yeah. We like that play, baby. That's going to be a good little one there for us. Let's go, Amazon. Oh, no, Neil. We got another one on board right now for everybody. There it goes. It's Amazon off 191.50. Thank you to everybody there in the chat as we put Amazon in the friendly zone one more time there today. So Amazon, you can do as you wish, but hopefully that is back up there to the upside. AMZN, good look there. Thank you to everybody in the chat for that as we find the level that we like. And right now we find the desk with Brendan.
Small cap still worth a note here today, guys, as well. We were talking with Luis from Barcelona, Spain, if you were with us in the first half an hour of the show this morning. He liked this one. KTTA even showed that data set that he uses to determine whether or not these will fade eventually. I think it was 90 plus for KTTA. When it does make these moves in the pre-market, it comes back down, starting to creep back lower currently for KTTA. This one, Duo, no chance, 154. Just took out the highs, 130 being tested right now. There was a restructuring of this company and a relisting on the Nasdaq this morning. So it typically barely trades, but it was below $1, so they had to do something. TBIO, we were also talking with Luis about as well. This one drifting lower as we speak. $5 ends up holding out of the gate this morning. Straight southbound since, guys.
Yeah, and that's what happens sometimes. You know, like you fail early on some of those small caps. You know, you might have to wait till lunchtime when it loads up at the bottoms, and then you can get that kind of reversal. It feels like that's what's happening a little bit with Nvidia as well, as it's still making lower highs back into the same flat bottom, but you're starting to get a sense that it's rounding it off a little bit. So, you know, your original bottom was 26, and then you test just underneath 26. Now you put back in the higher low. But the next step is always, after the rounded bottom, to start to hold higher and resume an upward trend. That's what I'd like to see happen next. Obviously, there's already an upward trend in Mara, as we just broke 65,000 and Mara's breaking out the high. 1750 is a round number. It just came into the quarters as well. So the next available dip is basically going to be where it is. You're at the 50 period, but you're breaking everything out and have room to at least $18 on this if we hold 65,000. Coinbase, Mara absolutely flying at this particular moment. They're looking strong. Rivian, I still believe, is a short. But as I said, it bounced off $11, and we'll wait for it to get back into VWAP. VWAP at 11.15 or so, putting in lower highs as we speak. So I like this one still for a southbound trade. Been looking for anything else that looks relatively weak, but Apple's back above VWAP and holding, so that's not really setting up for a short at these prices.
All right. We were waiting at 191.79 there for Amazon. We're long at 191.50 right now. On that note, here it comes back in. So I was going to tell you, we have half of the position left. We actually only have 40% of the position left. And I don't want to reload this one. Like, it just did not break up there. So like, this is what we did on Amazon. We'll be, I mean, if it breaks, we'll figure out if we're up on it or not. I'll tell you guys, obviously, immediately if we are up or down on the stock once it breaks. But right now, Amazon, see that? Just had some issues there. We do have a 77 out. So it's all good on that front. But right now, Amazon looking pretty weak into this weaker market, going to the lows. Brendan's got news.
Guys, haven't looked at this one in quite some time, but EHang, everyone's favorite eVTOL company from China, apparently completed another test flight successfully. So also benefiting from the Chinese move today, but EHang, huge move, 15%.
Those things look cool.
Name.
That's what I'll say about EHang. But yeah, you know, I'm not gonna be the first.
I would EHang a big L on that one, but we'll wait to see.
I don't necessarily disagree.
What happens there? All right, yeah, big L time right there. We'll again flush ourselves down the toilet. I don't, you know, you guys can always ask me at any time what's up with stocks. We are now flat on Amazon, so we gave you the update. There's the break lower on AMZN. So boom to the dynamite downside right there. Blowing up the wrong kind of dynamite there, but that's okay. In and out there on Amazon. I tell you that we're flat on it because we basically did that pretty perfect risk to reward there. Tried to let it run higher, did not go for us. Fine, tap out on that one. Obviously preserving a green day. So, you know, we'll just continue to do that. We never know where these stocks are going to go. All you can do is make educated guesses. And so far, so good on the education this month. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe for the stream, man, and be part of what we're doing here. I've already canceled this Tesla 260. Actually, I did not. I'm canceling it now, this 260 bid here. So we'll wait to see what a 260.50 breakthrough. That's not happening. Remember what we said before? I mean, I feel... Again, we say lucky, but I don't really. It went to the 50-period moving average. That's just a strategy. I feel unlucky that we didn't short it because we did talk about playing the other side, man. We do not need to just sit here all of the time and watch these stocks just drip down and say, when are good buying opportunities? A lot of the time you can flip it over and just simply go short. And that's something that we probably should have been doing in this market. I mean, it's been bleeding all morning, and yet I don't have anything on the short side. No winners at all short. No trade short for me yet. It's still going to be a top day, but no winners short. So again, we just picked up some Nvidia again down there at 18s, I believe it was. So 17s. There it is. Nice little move back up, Neil. We're going to take some more profit on that one. Spin it one more time as there it goes, man. 17s to 40s like it was candy right there on Nvidia. So, again, another reload, man. We're right here right now. Not sure if you got it, but there we go. Let's go 45s. Can we get 45s for another 40 cents? So despite the market making these moves down, we're able to be who we are, scalp out this market, take advantage of names that we like. We like Nvidia long. It drips down into that spot. We'll take it, but it's not really moving, so we'll take a 35 out right there again off that reload in the teens. So yeah, man, so far so good on these reloads today. We've been really, really cautious. Tesla, number 2 stock today. Nvidia, number 1 stock today. So we got both of those. Watch out for BABA, my negative name. I still think I could take BABA long if it breaks 104. We just had another look at that. That could be a trade coming through as well. But I don't know how you feel. I know you're double longs right now as well. I think this market is pretty tipsy here.
I mean, look, Mara and the crypto has been going up when the market was going down and established upward trend. I'm not reloading Nvidia here because I feel like at this time of day, I generally want there to be like a false bottom. So like break the low and then a reversal style trade because the trend, it's still making lower highs.
There it goes.
I'm only reloading if we start reversing this trend. Like that's basically it. Like we couldn't get past the 27 level. If we break the lows, I don't mind getting out and trying to get back into it. Even Mara just lost trend line. Right? So long Mara off the trend line. When 65,000 broke, I said, I'll take it where it lies, but there's your trend, and trend broken, get out. Usually I would short a trend break like this, but I'm not bearish on that in particular. Rivian's probably going to be next because Rivian's at that level of $11. 10.98 is the actual low. So I feel like the next trade is seemingly going to be Rivian through yesterday's low of the day, which it's not like 52-week bottoms or anything like that, because I think recently it was actually a lot lower than this. But yeah, flat bottom breaker a week ago, and then it's been steady downside. We're just looking for a break here. I think there's still room for this to get to $10. Maybe it doesn't do it all today, but low of the day break. It's the only thing I was short at any point. And Nvidia came out, which is position board's not correct, because there is my stop, there is my out when it made a fresh low, so I'm out of it. And the only way I'm getting a reload on Nvidia is if it can somehow reverse the trend to the downside that's going on here. I should probably be I should be short something. There's no question about it. Intel failed 24. I was looking for it to resume trend up, and I was biased to the long side, so I was waiting for it to resume trend up. You could have just shorted the living you-know-what out of 24, and it would have been absolutely fine. But I'm not in anything. I don't want to rush into it. It is just Rivian at this bottom break that I'll be looking for. Or maybe a pop into VWAP is going to give me an opportunity on something like an Intel. Apple's still not really setting up the short either. It's above VWAP and trending up. So you can throw that one out. I think Spencer and Wilson saying Palantir has trapped the bears.
Oh, wow, that's good.
That would mean it's relatively strong. Okay, we want to find something that's doing what the market isn't. That's usually the way to go. Yeah, the Palantir looks strong. V-shaped recovery, market at the lows, and it's consolidating off the highs. Is that the top yesterday? Yep. That's yesterday's highs and afternoon resistance on Tuesday. That's holding a consolidation. That's a good long setup, but it's either long into VWAP or take the breakout with the stop underneath here. So I'll let it make the move and then decide to act on it after. A bit of a new one in there. So eyeball's still on Nvidia. If it can reverse the trend, great. Rivian, low of the day break. And all of a sudden, Palantir looks pretty good as well. Tesla, I haven't really looked at. I know you've been on Tesla.
Yeah.
Oh, it lost 57?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'm back into Tesla right now, trying to get to 55.
It's got to get back above 57.
Yeah, we had wrote down here 50. Actually, we wrote down 57 dip buy right now. So there it is. I thought I have a stop down here. Yeah. So breaking too much below. We're trying it again. It looks like we will be in this L right now as Tesla just continues to go lower. There is Fed speak right now. I just heard something about. Okay, there it is. So we'll have to. We've been trying some longs down here. We said we probably should have flipped up this script a little bit, but we didn't do that. So, all right, there goes Nvidia to the downside. There goes oops, where's my chart? There goes Tesla down. We had written down. Oh, 257, that's right, not 255. Okay, so that's fine. So we just tried it there. We were long at 256.50. It drops back down below as the market. Can you believe we're going to go maybe red today in the market? I just looked at Sharif and said that there. He's coming back from his walk. How was your walk and talk? Fantastic. Good, good. Really nice weather. Good, good to hear. We'll be joining out there very, very shortly. I'm just going to open this chart back up because I don't like not trading without my full layout there. So we'll load that back up. But right now it's Nvidia. We're long into this one against 125. That's what I was kept. It wasn't 55, it was Nvidia 125. That was a level here that we had sort of talked about earlier on today. It's written on the sticky note 125. So we're going to try to give this one a go right now. Nvidia long 125.50. Brendan's got something good or something? It's good.
That high did get taken out both on BTC and some of the ETFs following that. Interesting note this morning suggesting the U.S. has reclaimed top spot as far as Bitcoin holdings are concerned. This index tracks banks, institutions, big money essentially that has positions that they've disclosed anyways, rising to 1.43 in September, up from 1.35 as of the beginning of July. So the U.S. back to the top spot as far as Bitcoin holdings is concerned on an institutional side of things. As I mentioned, there's that IBIT. Took out 37. Quick reversal, though, on pretty heavy volume, it's worth mentioning. So some stops getting run maybe above 65,000. That's Bitcoin itself. Same thing. Big red reversal candle now. Back downside, guys, for BTC. My bad.
That we sit here on Nvidia and try to watch out for that 125 level. If this breaks, man, we are completely hands off right now. We have a position we're long at 32. It's actually a good thing that we had got out there on that one. Come over to the chart, Fabian, quickly, because it's about to break. So it's a good thing we got out there at that. There it goes at that 126 level, so we don't have to really experience this. But there it goes. We will now put ourselves red right there. So we'll go from leaderboard to not on the leaderboard. Well. It doesn't matter. It's not a hugely successful day today. And we talked about this. When the trend is down, I know that generally speaking, we'll wind up losing on those plays because you wind up trying to dip buy names that just don't work. All right, so we did get stopped out there on Nvidia. And look what I'm doing again, getting right back into it because this 125 level, let's just see. Looks like it wants to hold. We'll put something on it right now. Back in right now in a second, I guess. Just hold on, Fabian. All right, so nice move back up to the upside here. 124. So that level, this is why we liked it yesterday, was this dip down area into 125. Nvidia is still up on the day, but the market is not, and it is screaming lower right now. So let's just try this out. That little move down. Let's see that exact level that it just bounced off of, 124.80. So I think now, if it breaks that low, that's enough, man. We talked about being stubborn, and that's really been the downfall of our trading. So let's not do that now. We know we can call levels. We know who we are. But for right now, let's just try to see if, there it comes. Let's just try to see if Nvidia wants to get back there. See, it bounces off 25. We just offered 24s there. It's not going meme crazy. If anything, it's going downside right now and can't find a bid. That is Nvidia. See, we just tried to take some out there at 25. We pushed offer enter and the stock went to the downside. So hopefully now it will run us over and get us out as we continue to hopefully go a little bit higher there. Need it. Just one more 10-cent push, my guy, up there. We'll take out 10%. There we are. There we go. We got it. So that nice little move upside now. Let's see if, there we go. Let's see if we can make some back, Neil. This name needs to go meme crazy for us. It's Nvidia. We're long that one right now. I see you're long Meta. What's good over there?
I just covered Meta and I'm going into Apple because
nice.
You were literally just saying we're always trying to bottom pick stocks. Meta got to the low of the day. And I'm like, okay, Meta off of yesterday's lows. Let's go. Well, I mean, look at Meta. And then I went over to Apple. And it's like, well, Apple's breaking out higher highs and higher lows. Like, what am I even doing here? Like, it's above VWAP. What are the things we like? Uptrend, above VWAP, relative strength. Who gives a rat's you-know-what that it's down, that's only up 0.4% and the Nasdaq's up 0.7? It's an upward trending stock right now, of which there are not many. So Apple all of a sudden looks good, where other things don't look as good. We're going to go into buy the dip mode on Apple and just switch. It's not that Meta was bad or anything. Look, Meta's not bad, but man, was it bleeding after the event. And maybe they're selling the news. But Apple was the one that was taking the brunt of it while that ridiculously long event, Meta Connect event, yesterday was going on, which it's still going. But let's look for 227.5 here, get some out, work into the high of the day, go back into VWAP and go dip buy hunting. One quick update on Rivian. Rivian didn't actually, okay, so Rivian broke. I was like, do I want to punch the low of the day? I've said this before. I don't like punching the low of the day at this time of day. So I backed off of it, which was probably a good decision. I didn't want to interrupt or anything, but it would have gone in the money 1 cent. It's still holding the downward trend. So I'll maybe short some pops in here. I just feel like I should be a little bit more cautious. Punching lows at 10:30 is not usually the way to go. Let's look for a, short the pop, find a trend or a better entry point. I want to be short Rivian again, but it just felt like a bit of a trap there at 11. And last thing I want to do is spring that trap. So Apple, I feel like Apple's starting to show
it's sprung up in here.
It's starting to show us some strength here in Apple. Let's see if we can get this back into 228. And on the higher time frame, there's some room in here to 229 for Apple if it can break out those highs. There isn't a red candle on Apple on the 15-minute since the open. That's a strong stock.
All right, we've already sprung that damn trap. Do your own stupid research, my guy, right here. Nvidia, what did we write down? 125 long. What's the low of the day today for Nvidia? 124.80. 88. Damn, Daniel, you're looking fine in those damn white vans. All right, so here we go, upside right now. You like that one, Joe? You got some white vans? There it is right now. Let's go. We're back in the money now, baby, on Amazon. Now Amazon, no cry. Well, that would be not the case in my house. No Amazon would be lots of crying. But there it goes. Bang! Big time move, Neil. We sprung the trap right there, as you mentioned, on Amazon. We buy that 190. Remember I said Amazon was a negative stock? Stone Cold says, right now, nice little move to the upside here, breaking through 50s. Man, we're on one right now. It's a 60-cent winner here for Nvidia back in. It is a 30-cent winner right now for Amazon. And let's just keep taking it out. Maybe we get that huge move upside right now for AMZN. We set there at 190. We buy it. We buy the weakness there on AMZN. Let's see if we can continue to climb upside right now. But hey, in a market that looks like this, what I'm doing is, sure, we have 80 cents on Nvidia right now, but we have to take profits where they lie, especially when you're buying dips on these names that have cranked the other way today. So we'll get some more out here in the 40s if we're able to on Amazon. We have now gotten out of half of our Amazon trade as they motored into those 30s. So good trading there. But again, do not hold out hope that this market's going to get all the way back, man. I mean, it's a big move down. We got to at least clear the 50 period, then to VWAP, and then we say sail from there. But for right now, let's just wait to see where this market goes. Good takes on Nvidia for sure. We just got a piece out there in the 70s. Let's get another piece out right now in the 50s. Maybe, there we go, take a 52. Maybe we do drip down at some point here on Nvidia and we're able to reload that name. But let's just keep on trucking here, keep on getting him out. There's another out for us on Amazon as it comes back into the 40s. Let's go upside and see if we can hold on to this. People saying Apple mooning right now.
Apple's trying to get to 228 level. Look, it's certainly the one that's holding trend to the upside the best. Like, there's just no, like I said, there's no red candles on the 15-minute. The 3 does have some opportunities for you. There's a trend that I've got setting on Apple. If we can come to the chart for a second. It might be establishing a new trend, but this is sort of what I was observing, the higher lows and then a flat top breakout on Apple. It looks like it's from resistance at this 228. It's not just any level. The last couple of days, it's been resistance there and then resistance there at 229 and a half. So I was looking for something relatively strong. This looks like it's going to be it. We're going to go dip by hunting in a VWAP or maybe even the 227 level as, Rivian already. Well, so much for, all right, so the market's trying to bounce. I thought Rivian would bounce into VWAP. Rivian's just holding right underneath 11. If it never breaks 1102, all right, I should just be in this one. If I can get some 99s, just going to get on the offer at 99 for Rivian. I didn't end up taking the bottom break because I thought the market was bouncing there and didn't want to short the absolute low. So long Apple, but I should be back into short Rivian. Just give it right into this local bottom. It's only a couple of cents worth of risk, and if it bleeds down another $0.50, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Rivian's a short till it's not. We are looking at some other names, but at this point, I like what Apple is doing probably the most. Oh, there's another one that sets up as a short for me.
Apple's back to day's high.
Intel looks like a short as well. Intel's putting in trend, lower highs. I think it's a 24 VWAP short or just hold the trend line in. I'm getting a bit bearish on this stock, even though it's up 0.8%. Like, I'm seeing the bounce that's happening elsewhere, and I'm not liking what I see with Intel. So I think this should be a short back into VWAP on INTC because I don't have any green candles on the Nasdaq right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with any of those statements, that's for sure. Okay, we'll try to buy some, sorry, that's Amazon. Amazon, so we were able to get something out again, it actually just went into the 50s right there on Amazon, and our best out, though, was 53s. So we did get a 53 there on AMZN. You can go double mark that off. All right, so I might as well just buy some right here. I was going to wait for 30s again for Nvidia, but what is 10 cents? When you're sort of scalping out, we'll wait. I mean, 10 cents means a lot, but we're not loading into shares now on Nvidia. We're just going to see if we're able to hold this for an upside push now. We can get back to 125.80. That would be pretty sweet for us, for sure. There goes Amazon again. I'm going to take another offer at 43. I don't really care too much about scalping this name out. It's been horrible, man. It's down 1%. Amazon has really, really bled through. If the market wants to continue this move, that's completely fine, and we'll hold on to this. But again, a breakthrough 190 on Amazon, we're out. So right now, we're about 1-to-1 on risk to reward here. We're long at 15s on AMZN. We're just getting some out now in the mid 40s. So that is about a 1-to-1 ratio right now, a little bit higher, actually 2-to-1. But that's not the thing. So if you want to get out right now. We are up on Amazon. It's a good stock for sure. Good reload, I guess, on Nvidia. We don't have any outs yet down here. Let's put something at 49 just to take this. You guys just saw me buy some 36s. If we can sort of just start to scalp it out. This is how, and Neil and I will talk about this all the time. This is how you can try to stay green and stay alive and not have those big, huge days to the downside. Not only will I often have, some of the biggest days, well, not some of the biggest days, yes, but also some of the worst days. So you got to be able to scalp out. Be confident in what you're doing. I think that's the number one thing, but at the same time, be a risk manager. And I think if you're a risk manager, then you will forever win in this game. There's Amazon again, upside at 190.50. So yeah, man, so far so good. Nvidia, we got it, Neil. It's making that move down, so watch out for your Apple. But I love Apple, though.
It's stalling it here.
Oh, it's stalling, okay.
It's stalling like everything else is stalling. Like, it's strong, relatively speaking, but there's like a,
Ouch.
Come to my chart for a second, there's a battle going on underneath 228. And we'll see who ends up winning this battle, but if it doesn't break out the top and comes back underneath, I mean, I got a line drawn in there. I can kind of show you. It's not yesterday. It was 2 days ago, resistance here that probably should be closer to 227.75, but I probably didn't zoom in well enough. So if we don't hold on to 227.75 here, I probably jump out of this and look for a VWAP retracement. If we break higher, we hold to the high of the day. It's, like I said, it's relatively strong. I'd like it to do a little bit better. Wow, there's these Chinese ADRs that we've been ignoring. Apologies to that, because they were all gapped up, and sometimes they fill in the gap. So in NEO's all the way back into the previous close almost. They get 565. That was a key level from before. I feel like that should have been a bounce spot. It just bounced off 70s, but this PDD, I've ignored PDD. It's still trending to the downside a little bit there. That was Sean. Crack up there.
That was me. Yeah, I hear my guy over here. The professor is in the building, and he always has some funny things that he says about.
Usually he does that.
He goes knee auto and stuff like that. So I can't do it as good as him. So we'll wait to see what he's all about over there. What we're all about over here has been good vibes. Right now, as we continue to watch out for Nvidia, I'm going to offer right now at 43s. There it is. We'll start to take some more out on Nvidia, and we're working now to the long side, baby. We've made it all back right now. We said that we had gone red. There goes Nvidia trying to break through 50. We like it, but you know what's really starting to sing right now? It's Amazon. Amazon giving us those vibes right now back to the upside. So we'll go green on Amazon. We're not green on Nvidia yet, so I misspoke right there. We need this one to fly a little bit more. We got stopped out on that 125 break, but silly me. We shouldn't stop out on the price that we write down longs for. So again, just a little bit off-putting by why I did that. But Amazon, we still got a big boy position on right now. We have so we're out of more than half, but this position, it would be some people's defaults. So let's just wait to see here. I liked it down there at 190. I think we can get back to the 50 period. So let's go, man. 190.75 is my next offer. We just did a good out there at 65 for Amazon. Nvidia, all right, we just got 50s there on Nvidia as that's going back up to the upside. Hey, if the market wants to work, I think we have some big winners on board right now, guys. We've got Nvidia that we really like to the long side, and we've got Amazon right now. If the market goes, then maybe this is something to pay attention to. Nvidia and Amazon. Look, for me, we are flat basically on the day here. We're going to be a little bit red. We're going to wait to see what happens on this Nvidia trade. But again, man, like compared to the movement in the market, considering we don't have any shorts, like this is a very, very good learning moment for myself. We were able to get out of a lot of these positions early and really just, capitalize on holding. Like, look at this Tesla trade, right? There's $1 and there's the misstep right there as it comes right into our level and we get out, but we do not hold. We do not average in, we wait. So that's really been working. Wow, now Nvidia tanks. Oh, there's news about SMCI, Brendan, right now, so we'll have to wait to see. Not a good move right now. Super Micro apparently being targeted by a short seller. SMCI right now targeted for... Oh, no, DOJ.
Oh, that's not good.
So this is even worse than I thought. Let's start to get out of something. There it is, Super Micro right now, down $25, $40. Now, what's up, Brendan? SMCI. We'll hold on that one. But there goes Nvidia. We'll get out of Nvidia there as it's come back in. Not much we can do, man. We throw our hands up in the air when that happens right now for the market. So sheesh is right.
Yeah, like you can't see that coming. There's absolutely no way to predict it. That's why we got the Benzing in our ear. But SMCI was screaming. This was basically one of the strongest stocks out there. It's going into a halt down. It's going into a halt down. Brendo, what's up, buddy?
There's no details on this, guys. It's the Wall Street Journal reporting this. But yeah, just what you said. Justice Department probing server maker SMCI. Again, no details, just from the Wall Street Journal.
Okay, halt it up.
You don't see stocks like this halt on them. And this isn't a news-based halt. There's a volatility halt to the downside right now on SMCI at 436.32. So down 3%, from up 5% to down 3%. It should open up in 5 minutes because it's a volatility halt. But that's nasty there for SMCI. I mean, let's go back. Okay. 431 is a bit of a flat bottom here, or 430 is a bit of a flat bottom on SMCI. If it loses that, it's in trouble. The tap is already 435, $1 down. Let's go over to Brendo.
More coming from that Wall Street Journal piece, guys. Ex-employee accusing the company of accounting violations. Again, an ex-employee accusing the company of accounting violations.
Oh, that poor employee must have not got out of their options in time there right now. So cry me a river on that one. Okay, so here we go, man. SMCI, who cares? It's a good story. Thank you, Brendo, for that one. But there's Nvidia, man. We just went and bought some of those upside. We are now long at 124.50. Shares of McDonald's hitting all-time high right now. That's another name that we've got in the portfolio. People are loving that stock right now. There goes McDonald's, new all-time highs as they come back to fight another day with their dollar menu, man. I mean, we talked about them really getting back into the consumer's favor. They chopped the prices of coffee down to that $1 right now. McDonald's continues to let them sing. Look at that. Huge move to the upside, man. Be diversified. I'm not that diversified with my trading today, as there goes Nvidia, man. We just waited for that story and said thank you very much. We got out of that. We got hit on it for sure, but we do take advantage buying the dip there in Nvidia. Now let's see if it goes back up. Until I hear they're investigating Jensen, then I ain't too worried about this. Let's wait to see what happens with NVDA. Long at 60s, man. It's in the 80s.
Yeah, so by the way, while that was going on, I did get out of Apple, but obviously the SMCI wanted to cover what was going on with that halt. We did lose the high of the day on Apple. It also dipped on that news. So, I mean, look, everything in the market when that news story came out came to the downside. I'm still looking VWAP for retrace on Apple. We got the breakout. It's still an upward trend. It's still relatively strong. It's now trying to hold on to that previous 227, like 60 to 75 area. Might look for the lower high in here, but I'm still going to hang on to VWAP. That's a topping tail candle. I'm going to let it either make a bounce here or wait for VWAP on this. The other thing is to just see what happens to SMCI, which is now giving an indicated open of flat. So it was tapping lower before. It's now got a flat indicated open on SMCI, and that'll be open in like a minute and a half or so. Yeah, call it like 2 minutes or so. SMCI is going to be back open. I feel like if SMCI catches a bounce, then you're going to want to maybe jump into some longs. I do like Apple. Let's go to the desk. It's time for it's already time for money talks.
Just a throw, I think.
Oh, yep, money talk.
People are losing money, I guess, with this SMCI, potentially anyways. I just wanted to show this, guys. This is the Hindenburg report that you have to go back to August 27th. when this came out on SMCI. In this report, they talk about possible accounting manipulation from SMCI. This Justice Department is actually pointing directly to this report as the reason behind this for SMCI. So maybe, as they say, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Okay, so as long as there's something to put some on there, Yeah.
Okay, so during all of that, we still stay positive on Amazon, but it just dropped in as well into 190. So look out below, man. This whole market is definitely reeling from all of this news. So yeah, it sucks to watch a stock like SMCI get hit like that. I know there's a lot of traders that are most likely involved in an SMCI, so just be careful with your investments. But I mean, it's Nvidia, still up on the day, right? I mean, you know what we should actually be checking? So I was actually going to wait here. We're getting close to this 50-period moving average, so we're not layering into any trades right now, but we are definitely aware that this 123.70 is going to be a do or die spot right here for many. So that's including for me right now. So 123.70 right now coming into play here on Nvidia as we continue to watch out for this name. Oh, there it is. What? Oh, we shouldn't have got stopped out there. My bad. We did not want to get stopped out. We were waiting for that. Oh, that's too bad. I was not looking there and did not cancel my stop order. So, okay, we're back into that long. It's that 123.70 area is kind of where we want to do. So we'll go back into this name, but that's whatever. We just lost on that, but we did not have a big shares. The name is coming back in. This is the last 10 seconds till it opens up. Okay, this is our last sort of straw here for the long on Nvidia, 123.50. If it loses this, then we are gone. Like I said, we do not want to be too stubborn with this.
Reopened at 433 and right through 420 to the downside on SMCI, so it's still headed down here. It's actually it's catching a bit of a bid off 420. Man, the spread is insane on SMCI. Retaking the lows as we speak. My goodness, there's not going to be a chance to play off the halt level of that 430. Unless it's going to be a rebound. I want this to get to the upside because I feel like if it does, like if it can get back through prior resistance and catch a bid, I like Apple because Apple's holding an upward trend. I'm trying to find another name that I like. There's back through that 430, but the bid won't go. Like it went back through 430, the bid was at 425 when 430 broke. $5 spread when it tried to get back up through 430. That's not good. What it means is no one was actually buying it when it's trying to pop up. It might just be people that are getting stopped out and covering. So right back into the lows on SMCI. This might go against SSR if it hits down 10%. That'll be at $413. Maybe it catches an SSR bounce. That's maybe the only play I can look at for SMCI in particular. The spread is insane. It's going to have to calm itself down. Yeah, not looking good. Short seller report, whistleblower. But I'm going to go back over it. I mean, Apple is at least holding above VWAP while the market's making fresh lows. I want to get VWAP in there, but if we just make another higher low, I can find the trend somewhere else. I'm just in Rivian. I'm short 1099, and Rivian's at 11. So everyone's paying attention to what's going on with the chips and big cap tech right now. No one gives a darn about Rivian. It's SMCI, which is still making fresh. It's going to go SSR any second now on SMCI. Oh, my level 2. What? Level 2 just crashed. Shoot.
Yeah, we should. So we just tried again the short or the long in Nvidia, not working there. It does break that 123.80 area. So we're now going to be out of that one and just wow, there it goes. We flipped over to the short, and I mean now we'll be pretty big on the short. But that was just good that we're able. Okay, now we're short. Right there on Nvidia. That's the purple tick. So there it goes to the downside right now. It's 40 cents in the money to the short right there. But wow, this has been a day for sure. One more time, as the Nasdaq. I said, like, could you believe that maybe we go negative right there? Well, guess what? We are negative in just a matter of seconds here. As there it goes, man. Flip over to the short. There goes Nvidia right now. Now 80 cents in the money on the short side of that. You know what's holding out though is Amazon is actually battling right now. So we'll watch out for that. 409 right now, SMCI. Let's not avoid, the big story right now. There we go, down 10%. SMCI trying to bounce back right now. So we'll wait. If Nvidia takes 124, then we can get back out of this one. But it's coming right back upside right now, NVDA. So watch out now, man. I mean, this story not done by any stretch of the imagination. It seems like good look on that Hindenburg report by Brendan, bringing that back about a month ago or whatever that date was. So now it looks like where there is smoke, there's fire. And yeah, right now, SMCI on fire.
And yeah, by the time they split this thing next week, like I said, I've never seen this happen before. where you have a stock that's going reverse split. It gets added to the S&P 500 and makes a high. It gets it gets a reverse split story, and it also gets a delayed reporting, and then you've got a short report. There's a lot going on with it. It went 10%. It did bounce off 410 to 420, and then instantly right back to the lows. There's just no bid on the stock right now. It's going to break $400, and it's going to break $400 anytime now. This is getting nasty. I'm just in Rivian. Rivian made a fresh low, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. The spread is ridiculous on this. I do want to get something in sympathy. It would have been Intel just flushed. I was looking to gain the trend on Intel, and then at the moment SMCI hit, Intel just went ham. So next available opportunity with only 2.5 minutes to go till we go over to the midday. I just want to remind everybody, Intel was a 2330 break yesterday that went gangbusters. 2330 support and 2330 on the daily. This is why we like the level. It's there in 10 cents. So what was strong is now looking weak, and there goes $400 on SMCI. It's bleeding, guys. Hopefully no one's caught long that thing. It might go into another halt at 398. Halt down potentially at 398 again on SMCI. Nasty.
Yeah, we're just in this one short here on Nvidia. I mean, I was actually debating getting shorter right now. Breaking this little level yesterday, 398 and halted is SMCI right there. We're getting into a level right now for Nvidia that we bounced off of yesterday, but what is yesterday is not today. So there it is, man. That's a break of 60s or so to the downside. Could open up more floodgates for Nvidia, maybe into 120, 150 or so. So watch out for that kind of a play coming through maybe on Nvidia. That would be something. If it does happen, we are short right now on that name. So I feel pretty good. If we put a bid down there at like 75, we'll see if we can catch that. That was the bouncing spot from yesterday on NVDA. But the story that continues to go is SMCI. That is halted, but quickly, because we only have 1 minute.
That tap can't be right.
The tap right now, 396.
I have the tap at 433.
No, I have it at 396.
Okay, well then mine's all. Yeah.
All right, what's for lunch today? Today's for lunch will hopefully help cure some of this bleeding to the downside. We have red wine braised onion beef bolognese with angel hair pasta and roasted sweet peppers. I mean, I think there's a chance there. I like that. And then some salad, bean sprouts, pumpkin seeds, so on and so forth. Have a great day. So that's good, man. Beef bolognese. So with angel hair pasta, we'll see about that. Of course, we will have our salad going through. But there it is right now. SMCI halted right now. 395 is your current tap that I have, and looking like it wants to continue to bleed lower off that open. You see the huge volume size coming through. It's SMCI shares halted due to the downside pressure of the stock. So yeah, man, we will not be green today as we try to chase this Nvidia move the wrong way. So we'll wait to see if it makes a move down. We are bidding 75s, and there we go. We'll get that. So that's a banger right there, as we'll take a little bit more. That's 50 more cents back in on Nvidia. So making a little bit back now as the short trying to come through right now. But yeah, there it is, 11 o'clock. It's going to be Joe and Sharif, so that should be exciting.
Yes, sir. The options are probably going absolutely crazy on SMCI.
Yeah.
That's going to be obvious. I had to refresh my level too.
I just went short on that break.
But 395 is the current tap, as we're going to send you guys on over. It's going to be a wild midday. It's not often that you have this kind of news going on here, but SMCI still halted. It'll open up in a couple of minutes. And when it does, you're going to be with Sharif and Joe. Go get them. What? No?
More short Nvidia right now.
What do you mean?
Remember, doesn't like that. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade.